Has it been almost 10 months already? Yeah, that's when the Blue Jays last played. First.
Jamestown Blue Jays football is brought to you by Creative Energy and Dan Superstop, Dakota Central, Hugo's Family Marketplace, Otter Tail Power Company, Professional Eye Care Centers, The Frontier Ford Grill, Unison Bank, Hillerud Construction, SMP Health Ave Maria, Gun and Reel Sports, Essentia Health, Farmers Union Insurance, Steve Benyon Agent, Jamestown Country Club, Originals, Apex Physical Therapy, Jamestown Parks and Recreation, Johnny B's Brickhouse, Buffalo City Diesel, Jamestown Regional Medical Center, RM Stout, and Pit Stop Express Lube. Now, Jamestown Blue Jays football.
The start last Friday night was, to be fair, a little bit halting for the Jamestown Blue Jays. Same sort of story it was the latter part of last season. Couldn't finish drives, but the second half was a lot different as the offensive line continued to wear the Wahpeton Huskies down. Liam Fry had a big second half, and special teams did the job too with a block punt by Braden Hemiger leading to a touchdown by Jager Remick. And the Jays really controlled the game, especially in the last 24 minutes, and came away with another season-opening win. That was 23-12 last Friday evening in Wahpeton. So the Jays are off to a good start. And so is their opponent tonight. And the Grand Forks Central Knights, who went through another of what they've had a lot recently, tough seasons. Only one win a year ago, went 1-8. But they've matched that win total already after knocking off an improved St. Mary's team at Cushman Field last Friday. And believe it or not, that final score was also 23-12. But the Knights have a power running game and use several people to do it, and played a pretty stout defensive game against St. Mary's too. So an interesting game against which involves, it looks like, two pretty evenly matched teams. On a little bit breezy, but still pleasant. Very late summer, Friday evening in September. We are on the University of Jamestown campus at Raleigh-Greenough Field at Charlotte and Gordon Hanson Stadium as the Jamestown Blue Jays play their home opener and the first of back-to-back games at home, and they do so against the Knights of Grand Forks Central. Good evening, David Burrell. Thanks for being with us here on Jamestown 107.1. And online, too. Ooh, I got to tell you something in just a second after I tell you we're also on the Heritage Signal of I3G Media in Jamestown, 1400 AM. What I got to tell you is you can watch tonight's game. There is a link to it at newsdakota.com. If you click on sports, you go on sports schedule, and you find today's date. You find Grand Forks Central with Jamestown. See that link that says Jamestown 107.1 Sports YouTube channel? You click on that, and you can watch this evening's game. Or go to YouTube and do the search for Jamestown 107.1 Sports. Easy to find. It's brought to you by Johnny B's Brickhouse. Glad you're here. Should be an interesting game tonight. And as last Friday night went on, things did look better, but head coach Bill Nelson overall was very pleased with how his team played. The problem never really at any point last year was the offensive line not doing its job. It's just that drives were not finished. Well, especially in the second half, the offensive line of the Jays really wore down a Wahpeton team that was getting worn down and in some cases injured. But it was a steady march really that helped Central to their victory too over St. Mary's. Like the Blue Jays, not a huge offensive line, but the running power game helps them out. They have a young quarterback named Brody Lettich who had a touchdown pass, a sophomore, but an experienced quarterback too in Noah Lease. But they use Naz Fisher, and he'll be dangerous on both ends of the ball from the Blue Jays' point of view. He is a hard-hitting linebacker who led them in tackles last year with 54. But last Friday night up at Cushman Field, he also rushed for 109 yards and a touchdown. Trey Clausen, Zaid Martin, both senior receivers, both caught touchdown passes. They also have other senior receivers. Central does, too. It's a senior-laden team. Brooklyn Bruce, Eli Thompson, Carter Bossard. So if anyone was possibly, you never know how games turn out, but if anyone was expecting, this might be 34-9 for Jamestown like it was in the opener in Cushman Field last year, let's just say I'll be very surprised if that game has any sort of a spread like the one last year did. But they play him for a reason, and Jamestown looks to go 2-0 in the second of 4 straight games against the East, with one of the new boys in the East, Central Cass, coming here next Friday evening, and again, we'll join you at 6:30. But this evening, it is Grand Forks Central and the Jamestown Blue Jays in what should be a pretty interesting football game. And as we move ahead on our pregame, you'll hear from the always interesting to hear from Jamestown Blue Jays head coach Bill Nelson. But just next, we'll take a look around North Dakota high school football for the higher classifications, 11 AAA, 11 AA. It's week 2 for everybody else. It is the 3rd week of play. So settle in for a Friday evening of football. Jamestown hosting Grand Forks Central on the Jamestown 107 Sports YouTube channel and on Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Blue Jays.
Where do you find the friendliest staff, the largest selection, lowest prices, and the freshest produce? Hugo's in Jamestown. But if you can't wait to go to the store, Hugo's Family Marketplace offers online shopping. You can shop all the departments and all the sales at hugos.com. Once you're done shopping, choose pickup or Hugo's delivery service, and they'll do the in-store shopping for you. Hugo's Family Marketplace, online shopping at hugos.com.
You're gonna find more low prices, more great stuff when you go to Hugo's.
On the field, every second counts, and when injuries happen, you need a hometown advantage. At JRMC Orthopedics, our local team offers fast access to expert care, so you don't have to travel out of town. From sprains and all the way to joint replacements, every same day, we've got you covered. The best plays start with getting back in the game. Orthopedic care that keeps you moving. It's right here. Visit jrmcnd.com to learn more.
Need some custom screen printed t-shirts? Lots of t-shirts? You need originals.
Originals!
Or do you just need one shirt with your corporate logo for the new guy?
Originals!
Caps, jackets, U sizes, adult sizes, Blue Jay apparel, Jimmy apparel. You need originals. There you have it, folks. For custom printed apparel, embroidery, and work apparel, it's Originals. They can also do online stores for your sports team or business. 216 First Avenue, downtown Jamestown. Open 9 to 5 weekdays. Visit originals.com.
Before you can start building a business, you have to have great builders. Hillerud Construction is a builder of high-quality commercial buildings, and they're hiring talented labor and carpenters to help them do just that. Vacation, paid holidays, 401k, and health insurance benefits for full-time employees, plus great pay depending on experience. Apply at 1008 2nd Avenue Southeast, Jamestown, or visit HillerudConstruction.com. Again, visit HillerudConstruction.com, and let's get building.
That's in Castleton. Central Cass is ranked number 3. St. Mary's at home after losing to Central last week in Bismarck. They're taking on Red River tonight. And Watford City is at home after losing last week. Wahpeton, after falling last week to the Blue Jays, makes the long trip and has to Watford City. Dickinson is on the road to take on 11 AAA Williston. And also in 11 AA football, Kindred, new to 11 AA this year, moving up, ranked 2nd in the poll, and winning last week. Well, they're going to Horace tonight to take on the Hawks. Last year's 11 AA champions won last week in their 11 AAA debut. Also in 11 AAA, Davies is now the new number 1. They're playing Century in Bismarck. Legacy ranks 2nd. They're at West Fargo. Bismarck Demons at number 3. Bismarck hosting Fargo North. Shanley is 4th, and the Deacons are at Mandan. And Cheyenne, last year's champs, fell to number 5 after losing their opener, and they're playing in Minot tonight against the Magicians. 11A. It's Ellendale Edgeley Colum at number 2 in the media poll, and hosting Mayport CG, of course, just up from 9-man football. That's in Ellendale tonight. Oaks back in action after losing their opener and having last week off. The Tornadoes are hosting Hillsborough Central Valley. Valley City is 0-2. They're at home to Sargent County at Hannah Field. Carrington stands at 1-1 after defeating Sargent County last week, and they're hosting 1-1 Grafton tonight in Carrington. 9-man, it's a 2-0 start for Napoleon Gackle Streeter tonight. They're at home, but with a tough opponent, 5th-ranked Grant County Flasher. Lemoore Litchfield Marion, ranked 2 in the poll after having last week off, are at home tonight to take on Wyndmere Lidgerwood. The number 1 team remains New Rockford Cheyenne Manic, and the Rockets have scored only 128 points in their first 2 games. And tonight they play at Larimore.
So that's what's happening around North Dakota high school football on this Friday evening. We are at Raleigh-Greeno Field at Charlton at Gordon Hanson Stadium on the campus of the University of Jamestown for game number 2 for the Jamestown Blue Jays and for the Grand Forks Central Knights. Stay tuned, please, because as we continue on our pregame, Blue Jays head coach Bill Nelson is next. On Jamestown 107.1, this is the voice of the Blue Jays.
It's Twins baseball season, and at RM Stout Incorporated, we're hitting a grand slam of deals on new and used vehicles. Just like the Twins, we're dedicated to winning for you. From sleek sedans and SUVs to powerful trucks, find your perfect ride at RM Stout Inc. We've got the selection, the service, and the financing options you need. So root for the Twins and cruise on down to RM Stout today. Visit us in Jamestown. Call 701-252-2270 or browse online at stoutcars.com. RM Stout Incorporated, for the best value.
Parents, keep your kids on track by scheduling a well child or teen visit at Essentia Health. Annual well child visits help catch potential issues early to support the healthiest future possible. In addition to thorough exams and vaccinations, our team provides valuable health and safety advice and takes time to discuss any physical or mental health concerns. Call your local Essentia Health clinic or visit essentiahealth.org to schedule a well child or teen visit today.
This is the sound of a good old-fashioned garage. It's called Pit Stop Express Lube and More in downtown Jamestown at 117 4th Street Northwest. Are you a new UJ student? Bring your vehicle to Pit Stop. They'll make sure your tires are good, fluids are filled, and your vehicle is perfectly maintained for safety. And UJ students get a 10% discount when you show your student ID, and no appointment is necessary for oil changes. Pit Stop Express Lube and More. Call 952-7867. On Jamestown 107.1, before Jamestown's home opener, the Blue Jays and Grand Forks Central at Hanson Stadium, we visit with head coach Bill Nelson. Last Friday night, a victory in Wahpeton, and after the offense, unfortunately, for a while, the same story has happened a lot of, especially the latter part of last year, drives weren't completed, but were in the second half, and your offense steadily moved the ball through the entire game, because I thought your offensive line did quite a job last Friday.
They did a nice job, and it's one of those where it's the first game, a lot of adversity. There's a lot of, you're on the road. Science is a new turf field. I learned something last week. You don't wear brand new whiteout whites on a new turf field because the laundry was atrocious last week. So bought another washing machine this week, but no, they got clicking, and first we were able to move the ball. We just didn't finish off. I felt like we threw it pretty good. We left a couple out there. We had a couple drop balls, and they'll get better. And our run game was pretty solid the whole night long, and that's been the goal with this stuff, as we talked about early on, is our depth to be able to wear some teams down. And found a couple other kids that can play last Friday night, and hopefully can find a couple more that'll play here in the next couple weeks. So just continues to make us deeper and deeper. And games are won at the line of scrimmage. I don't care what anybody says, and that's the way it's never going to change, you know what I mean? But, no, we did some good things, and like I said, to get a W on the road to start the year, that's definitely a good thing.
And you talked last week about having especially the depth defensively, too. You said you wanted to, especially on the line, rotate a lot of young men, and a lot of young men not only got in there but made plays, too.
They did, and it's like as that week went along, and now the physicality of the week, things start to ramp up, and we talked about urgency a lot. Okay, now you start to know where you're going to go. Okay, but now we need to, a lot of time on the defense side, it's a reaction to what the offensive line's going to give us. You know what I mean? And this week's a new challenge, what we saw last week. The difference is you have film now. You know what I mean? And you're going to see what the other team's going to do. And I guarantee you Grand Forks Central's going to come with some wrinkles, as most good teams do. You know what I mean? But no, it's we rotated a number of guys in there. And like I said, hopefully this week we'll grow that a little bit more. That's the plan. And keep getting deeper and stronger as the season progresses.
And special teams, too. Second half, first you bother their first punt, hold them to 9 yards, you score off of that. Second time they had the ball, Braden's able to break through, make the block. Really smart play by Liam to tap that ball to make sure that Jager could fall on it into the end zone.
It was funny. It was Liam taps it, and Jager's like, "Oh, hey, here's the ball." You know what I mean? So it was a surprise, I think, for both of them. And then looking back at it, we probably should have came back after the next one too. But I don't want to say I didn't want to get greedy, but it was probably there. You know what I mean? And so, you got to be big in all three phases, and that obviously helped kind of turn the tide. And you know what I mean? And like I said, second half was really good, and we ramped things up a little bit and got a little stingier on the defense side. I gave up 2 big plays. Is what it is. That's it's going to happen. The kids rallied and they shut it down when they need to shut it down. So that's the most important thing.
At the end, here I am saying on the air, well, do you get 6 yards to clinch the game running the ball, or do you have a good sophomore kicker come out and kick a field goal for you? And you saw last year, as we talked about last week, what Chase Stroud did. And yes, it was a 24-yarder, but
I don't care.
You've still got to make him. And, brother, he did.
He did, and it's a confidence. You know what I mean? And he's young, and he's a little nervous at games, and that's okay. Being nervous is not a bad thing, and just keeping him settled down. And like I told him, hey, pregame now, we're going to talk again tomorrow, and throughout the course of the week, I need to know, where are you comfortable from? Do you want the middle? Do you want the left? Do you want the right? And I go, are you okay on the right side? Yeah, I think so. He said, but are you comfortable from right? Yes, coach, I'm good. All right, let's go. You know what I mean? And he didn't hesitate. We had to shorten his steps up a little bit midweek last week, so he was kind of thinking about that a little bit. But because, like I said, it's different when you're kicking on your own at Hanson in the summer and there's no rush coming.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden it's just timing and getting with him, Mason Gibson and Brady, and just continually repping, and it may be 8 to 10 reps a day.
Last year when you defeated Central up in Grand Forks, started a tough year for them, but they had to be encouraged with how they played last week in beating a St. Mary's team that is better. And speaking of depth, they have it, and they're not making it. At least they didn't against St. Mary's. They may not have shown everything they have. They didn't make a big secret, though. They want to run the ball right.
Oh, they do. They're gonna bloody the nose, and they want to make a physical game. And honestly, as Coach Schauer and I, like I think I said in the past, we talk a lot. And there was some talk early on Monday and back and forth about a couple things, and no, they want to run the ball. They had 4 or 5 guys running the ball, and they got the same kid at quarterback. They've got a young kid too that they're kind of working in there too. So it'll be interesting to see down the road. But we expect to see both of them. Nas Fisher, number 19, is a really good running back. He's a really good athlete. When defensively, when he's going to come, you know it, and you better be ready.
It's going to be an interesting football game. Thank you, sir. Good luck.
It's going to be physical. Get out to Hanson. Let's go.
Starting lineups are next as Jamestown hosts Grand Forks Central on Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Blue Jays.
Attention all physical therapists and physical therapy assistants. Are you ready to love where you work? At Apex Physical Therapy and Wellness Center, we're hiring, and this isn't just another job opportunity. Here, you'll enjoy a true work-life balance, a comprehensive benefits package, and a positive, supportive team culture. And we're offering a signing bonus for you to come on board. This is your chance to grow your passion while making a real impact in the lives of our patients. Apply now at apexptwellness.com.
Apex Physical Therapy and Wellness Center. Physical medicine with personal connection.
Let's get right into the Pit Stop Express Lube and Tire starting lineups, and we can tell you that Grand Forks Central won the toss and chose to take the football. Not too surprising with the power running they had last week. Here's how they'll start. Noah Lees, 5'11", 175-pound senior at quarterback. 10 out of 14 last week, 68 yards. So a lot of short passing plays like the Jays do. But Brody Lettich, the sophomore, will play. In fact, his only completion last week was a touchdown pass. Anton Perales listed as the senior starter at running back, and he'll play, but so will Bill just referred to him, number 19. That's Naz Fisher. Brooklyn Bruce, senior wide receiver, along with fullback Eli Thompson in the backfield, and Zayd Martin, another wide receiver, tight end Carter Bossert. The tackles, senior Nolan Marshall, and on the right side, senior Brody Melliker. And the guards on the left side, junior Sawyer Harlow and junior Eli Fisher is the right guard. The center is senior Ryder McNally. Jamestown starts these three on the front. Jet Wharton, the senior, with 6 tackles last week, including 2 sacks. In fact, 1 more sack than he had all of last year. Cody Barrett, the senior, with 4 tackles a week ago. Ryland Doctor, 7 tackles. Brighton Ackerman, Eli Olson, many others will see time too. Bennett Gaynor, Mason Gibson, Liam Fry, Seffi Saylor, the linebackers. Graydon Thorlickson, Braden Heminger, the safeties. Jamison Kleingen, Aiden Scary are the quarterbacks. We'll flip it and tell you about when Jamestown has the ball, how they'll line up next. As our pregame continues before Jamestown meets Grand Forks Central at Hanson Stadium on Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Blue Jays.
Are you looking for a rewarding job and a great environment where you can make a difference in someone else's life every day? SMP Health Ave Maria in Jamestown is looking for you. Visit smphealth.org/Ave Maria and click on the Careers tab to find the most up-to-date openings available. smphhealth.org/Ave Maria. They're currently looking for nurses, housekeepers, CNAs, and universal assistants. Be sure to visit the website if you're interested and qualified for any of the positions that are open at smphhealth.org/Ave Maria.
At Unison Bank, we provide financial solutions for customers to meet their needs today and achieve their dreams tomorrow. From personal banking services like checking accounts, mortgage and auto loans, to business banking services. At Unison Bank, we offer financial solutions with prompt responses and quality service. Visit unisonbank.com for more information. Located in Jamestown, Linton, and Wishing, as well as Gilbert, Arizona. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Some of us were born to farm. Some diesels, like Cenex Premium Diesel, were born to fuel. Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster comes with a more complete additive package for a more complete burn to reduce particulate matter and keep filters cleaner for longer. Fuel your equipment like a pro with Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster and leave typical number 2 diesel to the amateurs. Cenex Premium Diesel. Diesel that doesn't mess around.
When you're working outdoors, unpredictability is the norm. Tackle your toughest jobs with the 2025 Honda Pioneer 700. This rugged side-by-side brings the power with reliable torque for towing and smooth shifting for the trails. Choose from 3 trims, Standard, Deluxe, or the True Timber Forest Edition. See the 2025 Honda Pioneer 700 at Gun and Reel Sports, downtown Jamestown. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear a helmet, eye protection, close side nets and doors, and always wear seatbelts. Honda side-by-sides are for riders 16 and older.
Do you want to make sure homework time isn't spent on games and video streaming? Dakota Central can help. With Experience IQ, you set limits to ensure your kids aren't playing when they should be doing homework. With premium managed Wi-Fi from Dakota Central, you can create healthier internet habits for your children from the easy-to-use Command IQ app. Learn more about premium Wi-Fi and Experience IQ today at www.dakotacentral.com.
You know you don't really want that hurry-up, bought on the cheap, not sure what I got insurance coverage. Good, because Farmers Union insurance agents do things just a little different. We'll work with you personally for home, auto, business, or farm insurance and tailor the exact coverage plan you need because we're not satisfied until you are. Different? You bet. Farmers Union Insurance. Simply different.
Good luck to the Blue Jays and Jimmies from your local Farmers Union agent, Steve Benyon.
Not all products underwritten by Farmers Union Insurance.
This is Bryn Hansen, a senior at Delax Billington High School and the 2025-26 North Dakota High School Activities Association Distinguished Student. While the scoreboard reveals the winner of a high school athletic contest, the real winners are those that display good sportsmanship. We need those people who treat competition as a game and not a war. People who show genuine concern for an injured player and those who accept all decisions of the game officials. Remember to be a good sport and a good citizen when you attend a high school game. This has been a public service message from the North Dakota High School Activities Association and this radio station.
Two Rivers Activity Center in Jamestown is hiring. Do you like interacting with people? Do you enjoy a fun, upbeat atmosphere and a clean workspace? If so, the perfect opportunity awaits you at Track. They're currently hiring for a variety of part-time positions for lifeguard and guest service and wellness attendants. They'll work with your existing schedule, whether you already have another job or are a college student. Check out trackjamestown.com to learn more about these positions and how to apply today.
Otter Tail Power Company would like to remind you about the importance of high school athletics in the lives of children. Those extracurricular activities play a role in the education and development of those kids involved and provide a way for kids to learn some of life's most important lessons. Lessons that'll take them through life with a sense of accomplishment and pride. Otter Tail Power Company would like to salute those athletes, coaches, and fans who make every season one to remember.
Let's turn it around in our pregame and as we continue our Pit Stop Express Lube and Tire lineups. And when Jamestown has the ball, it's junior quarterback Brady Nenow. Not bad at all last week. 16 of 30, 150 yards. He also rushed for 19. Liam Fry, the senior, 137 yards, or 132, I should say, yards rushing, and 2 second-half touchdowns for the senior, matching his total from a year ago. Will Bennett will also get time running the ball. Now, there is one change in the starting wide receiver core. Brandon Kaler got hurt last week, cannot play tonight, so Cale Verkey, the junior, will start in his place. Verkey had 2 catches. Seffi Saylor, the senior, with 3 catches last week. And Jager Remick, not only did he have that recovery of the punt of the end zone, he had 3 big catches for 63 yards. Remember that one big 33-yarder in the first half on a 3rd and 20. The tight end, junior Tucker Allen, who had a couple of catches a week ago. On the offensive line for Jamestown, the tackles on the left side, senior Cody Barrett, and on the right side, junior Eli Olson. The guards are junior Ryan Doctor and senior Jet Wharton. The center is junior Jackson Morris. Defensively for Grand Forks Central, they also run a 3-4. Brody Melliker, Eli Fisher, and Logan Voorhees. Melliker and Voorhees, the ends. They're both seniors. Fisher, the nose tackle, is a junior. Linebackers, Nas Fisher, 54 tackles a year ago, the senior, along with John Sherrick, a junior. Zethan Feldman, a junior, and senior Eli Thompson. And the secondary for Grand Forks Central, the safeties are junior Tyson Vanyo and senior Brooklyn Bruce. And the corners are senior Zaid Martin and another senior, Trey Clausen. Bill Nelson, in his 11th year as head coach of the Blue Jays, now at 54 and 48. Jake Schauer, the VCSU alum, team captain for the Vikings in 13, and his 4th season as head coach of the Knights, 13 and 19. 34-9, the Jays were winners last year up in Grand Forks, but I think you remember what happened the last time the Knights came here. It was 2 years ago in the semifinals in 11 AA, and the Knights pulled it off by a score of 14-13. Some of these Jays, not too many, but some of them were on the field that night, so you know that they remember that. But that's really, like I say, the type of game that I think fans who are rooting for both of these sides are expecting tonight. It's 55 degrees, and I'm not complaining. Cloud cover for the most part. Could dip close to around 50, by the way, by the time this game finishes. There is some breeze, 14 miles an hour out of the northeast, be more of a crosswind than anything else. So as we mentioned a moment ago, it was Grand Forks Central winning the toss and choosing to take the football. So Jamestown will kick from right to left to get it started. The uniforms mainly blue and white numerals, and Jamestown above the number in the front, Blue Jay on the side of the blue pants. The white numeral with the blue and white band down the middle, the number of blue on one side, the Blue Jay logo on the other. Grand Forks Central in white tops. They have maroon numerals and letters, and maroon pants, maroon helmets with the interlocking GF in silver on the side. So Chase Trout is set to have tonight's opening kickoff, which is brought to you by R.M. Stout, your Ford, Dodge, and Jeep dealer in Jamestown. And we certainly hope you enjoy the action here at Hanson Stadium with Brooklyn Bruce and Zaid Martin and also Trey Clausen all back deep to receive. So they have 3 kickoff returners, just like Jamestown did last week. You hear the crowd, a pretty good one here. Still a little room for you, so come on over and enjoy this nice, cool evening. We're underway. Hope you enjoy the action. From the 3-yard line, it is Zaid Martin taking it, 10-15 down the right seam, 20, and a little traffic now, and down near his 22-yard line. And there will be the starting place for the Central Knights. And let's see if, like they did last week, they just use the power running game. They really used that to their advantage a week ago. They'll start from the 22, moving from left to right, from south to north. Quarterback is the senior Noah Lease. And it is Naz Fisher in the backfield behind him. Although Perales listed as the starter, it's Fisher. In fact, he takes the first handoff around the right end, 25-yard line, and he's down with a good first down gain near his 28. Mason Gibson, the linebacker, who led the Blue Jays in tackles last week with 8, made the stop there. In fact, they give him all the way to the 29-yard line of Jamestown for a gain of 7. So there's a good start for the running game for the Central Knights, who are 2nd down and 3. 2 receivers to the left. Zaid Martin in a slot. There's a wide to the left, and that's Brooklyn Bruce. Pistol formation here for Lease. Another handoff. Hits Fisher right up the middle. 30, 32, first down. 35, 36 or 7, or maybe even 38-yard line before Seffi Saylor grabbed him. This is what they did against St. Mary's. Just keep running and running and running. And with this guy, and he's 5'9", 201, so he can put some power behind his running, and he just puts his head down and comes right at you and says, see if you can stop me. First down and 10, Central. Knights at their 38, just underway on this Friday evening. Wing to the right now, Lease with another handoff, and this one goes up the middle, and this is Anton Perales at right guard. Good gain. Stopped after about 5 by Bennett Gaynor and Ryland Doctor, but still another good run this time for Perales, as he is to his 43-yard line for 5 more. So 21 yards and not quite 2 minutes of play, all on the ground for Central. 2nd down and 5 from their 43. Moving left to right. Brooklyn Bruce wide right, the short side. Slot right, Zaid Martin. But it's a hand to Perales again. 45-yard line at left guard. 49, may have dropped the football. It's in Jamestown territory. The Blue Jays say they have it. The Blue Jays do have it. They have recovered the fumble. And who do you think fell on it again? How about that, Braden Heminger? He made the big play on special teams last week. And with 9:57 remaining in the opening quarter, he has made the recovery for Jamestown at their 49-yard line. 1st and 10, Jamestown. And they run the ball. Not surprisingly, to Liam Fry on the first play they have from scrimmage. He's across the 50 and into Central territory at around the 48. That'll be a gain of 3 yards for Liam Fry. No score. We've had a turnover. 2nd down and 3, or 7 for Jamestown, I should say, after the gain of 3 at Central's 48. Throw left by Nenow over through Tucker Allen, and he was well covered, too, at about the 37-yard line of Central by the junior free safety, Tyson Vanyo, and that'll make it 3rd down and 7. Two receivers to the right and one to the left for Brady Nenow, the lefty quarterback. But he hands it to Fry up the middle. Big room, 45-40. 35, breaks one tackle, 30. Near the 21-yard line of Central. They weren't expecting that, but William Fry, for that reason, had a whole huge to carry through. He's all the way to the 21-yard line of Central for 27. First down and 10, Jamestown. Hand it to Will Bennett, who's in there, and two Knights wrap him up immediately. Seth Feldman with a good play to start, and Andon Morales joined him. So Bennett's first carry tonight is for no gain. Second down and 10. Jamestown's at the Central 21, trying to take advantage of a turnover. No score, 8:33 in the first quarter on the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard. Two receivers each way, and a pitch ahead to Bennett, 20, round left end, 15 down to the 14 before Brooklyn Bruce brought him in. We've seen that play, not only in practice, but in games, work pretty well. That pitch ahead, Nenow is proving again to be a pretty agile quarterback. Now this brings up third and short for Jamestown, third down and 3. The Jays struggled a lot last year on this down. Last week pretty good in Wahpeton. They were 6 of 14. Remick and Saylor to the left and two receivers to the right. Nenow's looking left, and it's through the hands of a wide open Remick at about the 7. He then took a bump from Bruce. But Remick appeared to have the end zone if he could have corralled that ball. He didn't. And now it's fourth down and 3 for Jamestown at the Central 14, and they keep the offense on the field. Cale Verkey is to the right along with Seffi Saylor. Remick to the left, tight end Allen lined up as a wing to the left. Nenow throws to the left, goes for Allen, catches at the 10, cuts to around the 7. He has the first down. It's first and goal, and then in come 2 or 3 Central Knights. Allen brought in there by Logan Voorhees, but a couple of catches last week, but he is someone they are certainly depending upon. It is spotted at the 8-yard line of the Central Knights for 6, and it's first down and goal. Same setup as the last play. Verkey and Saylor to the right and Remick to the left. Fry beside Nenow in the backfield, handily in up to the 5. Enzo walks in. Touchdown, Jamestown. Well, that was pretty easy as it turned out. It's an 8-yard score for Liam Fry, his third of the year. And yes, the Jays do take advantage of that turnover and take the lead. Chase Trout, 2 of 3 on extra points in Wahpeton last Friday night after going 7 of 8 a year ago. Holders Brady Nenow. Snappers Mason Gibson. Snap good, hold good, kick good, and a very good start for Jamestown. 7:25 remains first quarter. Jamestown takes advantage of a turnover and takes a 7-0 lead over Grand Forks Central at Hanson Stadium at Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Blue Jays.
The Frontier Fort invites you in for a true Dakota Territory dining experience. This unique location looks like an authentic 1800s fort. Head upstairs and you'll be greeted with the mouth-watering aroma of freshly grilled ribeyes and barbecued ribs. They're open from 4 to 9 Monday through Saturday, and their legendary prime rib is served on Fridays and Saturdays. Call 252-7492 for takeout. The Frontier Fort, on the road to the Buffalo in Jamestown.
For the Blue Jays.
8 plays, 51 yards for the Blue Jays to score coming off the turnover. The last 8 by Chase Trout for the touchdown. And Trout ready to kick off. The 3 deep are Brooklyn Bruce, Zaid Martin, and Trey Clausen for Central. 7-0 Jamestown in front in their home opener. This one's going to make the end zone. The third touchback so far this season by Chase Trout. He had 2 last week down in Wapaton. So Central will have it back. They were moving the ball well on the ground until the lost fumble by Perales. Braden Heminger making the special teams play there and set up the scoring drive for the Jays, who have it on defense now as Central works 1st and 10 from their 20 from left to right, south to north. Naz Fisher in the backfield behind Noah Lease, who's in the pistol. 2 receivers right and 1 to the left. The snap to Lease and the fake to Fisher with a throw left. This one's caught by Eli Thompson out of the backfield, 25-30, and has a first down, or near it anyway, not quite. 9 yards, but he's close to one, out of bounds at his 29. Thompson can play fullback, also tight end. He was in a tight end spot there. I'll make it 2nd and 1 for Central. Receiver each way. As Noah Lease with a long count here. Still 7 on the play clock. And this time it's a hand to Fisher up the middle, 30-35. Still working his way through defenders. And dropped the football. But this time it's Central who recovers. So 2 fumbles already, but a scrambling Brooklyn Bruce is able to fall on it for Central, and the Knights are out to their 38-yard line with their 2nd first down. That was almost big trouble again. Central's 1st and 10 from their 38-yard line. 2 receivers right for Lease. Fake the handoff, throw to the left side, and immediately brought down is Thompson. Braden Heminger makes another big play, the strong safety. And just knocked him over immediately after Thompson took the football. No gain, makes it 2nd down and 10 for Central. The Knights are at their 38-yard line. Kleingen and Scary the corners. Thorlickson, Heminger the safeties. 2 receivers right again for Central on 2nd and 10 from their 38. Lease fakes it to Naz Fisher. Noah's back to throw. In some trouble. Down he goes. Jet Wharton has another sack, his 3rd already. 2 last week. And the protection really broke down in a hurry for Noah Lease there. The loss is 6 back to the Knights 32, and that makes it 3rd and long, 3rd and 16. And Central's in a spot where they just don't want to be, and that's beyond the change. Remember, you can watch tonight's game. Johnny B's Brickhouse bringing you the streaming video, the Jamestown 107.1 Sports YouTube channel. And we're glad to have Tayson Martinson, our newest member of the I3G Media Sports family. He's handling the video. 3 receivers to the right for Central. 3rd and 16 for the Knights from their 32. And they're going to take a Hillerud Construction timeout. Play clock was running down, and they decided they needed to talk about this, so we will too. We have 5:13 left in the first quarter at Hanson Stadium. Jamestown off to a good start, leading Central 7-0 on Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Blue Jays.
Why choose Professional Eye Care Centers? 3 great reasons are Dr. Bond, Dr. Freilich, and Dr. Jangula. 3 of the most educated professional optometrists you'll ever meet. Next is their many locations. You can now see one of their spectacular doctors in Jamestown, Valley City, Carrington, Edgeley, Ellendale, and Lemoore. And finally, their fantastic selection. And yes, all of their frames and lenses are backed up by warranty. Visit ProEyeCareCenters.com and make an appointment today. Professional Eye Care Centers, clearly the best.
Well, the protection's so important, and especially against the defense that is as aggressive as Jamestown is. And there were too many linemen standing around Noah Lease on that last play, and neither they nor he had anywhere to go. After the timeout, 3rd and 16 for Central from their 32. 3 receivers lined up to the right. Perales is in the backfield behind Lease. 1 receiver to the left. High snap to Noah, shoulder high. Throws long down the left side once. Bruce, he leaps, and he caught it to the 30. Turns around 20. 10 of Jamestown, brought down at the 8. Graydon Thorlickson saved the touchdown, but Brooklyn Bruce, who was over there battling with Braden Hemiger, broke away from him. And Brooklyn Bruce has it all the way to the 7-yard line of Jamestown. That is a 61-yard pass play on 3rd down and 16. And now Central's knocking on the door. 1st and goal at the Jamestown 7. Big pass play for the Knights. Perales still in the backfield. 2 receivers to the right. Man in motion to the left wing now is Eli Thompson. Snap to Lees. Hand to Perales around the left-hand ends on to the 5. To the 2. Breaks through 3 tacklers. Touchdown, Central Knights. And Anton Perales, who had 4 touchdown runs a year ago, has his first of 2025. And now they'll keep the offense on the field and try to take the lead, or at least they look like it. Nope, here comes the senior kicker, Ryan Dobrovolny, who was 2 of 3 on extra points at Cushman last week against St. Mary's. Noah Lease is the holder. Eli Fisher is the snapper. As Grand Forks Central looks to tie the game, the kick got deflected and went left. Somebody got a hand on that. And Jamestown maintains the lead, but a big pass play leads to a touchdown, and Grand Forks Central stays close. 4:23 in the first quarter at Hanson Stadium. Good one going. Jamestown 7, Grand Forks Central 6 on Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Blue Jays.
Johnny B's Brickhouse, famous for their pizza, but wait, there's pasta, and their amazing wings, and fresh ground hamburgers, tasty salads and appetizers too. And for dessert, you can't beat their sweet sticks. Come on out for Tuesday night trivia and live entertainment every Thursday night. The place to be is Johnny B's, smack dab in the middle of Main Street, downtown Jamestown. And remember, for delivery and carryout, call 952-8777.
Somebody got a hand on that extra point, keeps Jamestown in front after the scoring drive by the Central Knights. Anton Perales with a 7-yard touchdown run after the big 61-yard pass play from Noah Lease to Brooklyn Bruce. And now Ryan Dobrovolny will kick off. Jamestown has 3 deep men. They're Cale Verkey, Seffi Saylor, and Aiden Scary, waiting back at around the 11-yard line. From left to right, kicks Dobrovolny. Spinning kick high, and taking it at the 11-yard line, Cale Verkey. To the 15-20, cuts to the right, and it ends at the 22 for him with the charge led by Aiden Hinsey for the Central Knights. So Jamestown now will start at their 22-yard line after an 11-yard return. 7-6, Jamestown in front. Good first quarter going here at Hanson Stadium. But the missed extra point for the moment, the difference. 4 receivers set, but the hands to Fry up the middle, lead him to the 25, and was able to make his way forward, even though there was a player on his ankles, and that was the junior linebacker Sethan Feldman, but all the way to the 29 is Liam, and there's 7 more yards for the senior. And 52 yards rushing already for the Jays, 52 of their 58 yards. Second down and 3 from their 29. And the hand to Fry at right guard, moves his way forward with, again, Feldman trying to wrap him up, but all the way down to his 33-yard line. It's enough for a first down, we know. Second straight play there by Feldman. But Liam has 4 more yards and another Jamestown first down. That's their third. Each team has 3. 1st and 10, Blue Jays. Jamestown from their 33. Now a throw down the middle is behind Seffi Saylor and incomplete by Brady Nenow. 1 step and throw. He does not waste time, Brady, back there in the backfield. But the pass was behind Seffi Saylor. And that'll make it 2nd down and 10 from their 33 for the Jays. 2 receivers to the right. Hand to Liam Fry, but he spun in the backfield, and then he's brought down by Eli Thompson. Naz Fisher spun him, and that allowed Eli Thompson to finish off Liam. Really the first problem he's had. And that'll make it 3rd down and long. Jays are back at their 27-yard line, so that makes it 3rd down and 16. Nenow from his 18 back to throw. Screen to Will Bennett, right side 30, 35, 40, brought down and high. Ooh, not quite for the first down. Was that a legal hit? I guess it was. There's no flag out. Bennett is a couple of yards short of the first down, but did make it to his 41. So 14-yard play, but not enough. And Jamestown in their own end will not take the chance. They'll bring out punter Graydon Thorlickson, 2 punts of exactly 31 yards each last week. Zaid Martin and Brooklyn Bruce are the deep men for Central. Standing at around the 25. There's a block. I mean, absolutely unencumbered. We know who got that one. Jaden Vetter. And Central sets up in Jamestown territory, and I mean, no one, absolutely no one blocked Jaden Vetter. And Central has it, and great field position at the 33-yard line of Jamestown. So a special teams breakdown there for the Jays. Gives Central great field position with 1:51 left in the first quarter. 7-6 Jamestown leading Central on the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard. Johnny B's Brickhouse bringing you our streaming video. Watch it at the Jamestown 107.1 Sports YouTube channel. Noah Lease, handoff to Naz Fisher on first down. Skips around the left end, 30, 25, tackle broken, 20, and pushed out of bounds by Liam Fry near the 15. But another big run for Naz Fisher. He's off to a pretty nice start. However, there is a flag down. We have not had any penalties yet in this game, but that may be about to change. And the Central Knights don't look too happy, and they're walking backwards. A great game by Naz Fisher may have just been wiped out. Yes, it was, by a hole. Well, that would have been at around the 15-yard line of Jamestown. Instead, the Knights are back at the Blue Jays 43, and it's 1st and 20. 1:45 first quarter. 3 receivers right and 1 to the left for the white and maroon-clad Central Knights. Noah Leeson a pistol. Naz Fisher behind him. And receiver came off the line of scrimmage too soon. That was Brooklyn Bruce over there on that left side. And he tried and tried and tried to hold. He could not. So back-to-back penalties here on Central. Bring them back to the Jamestown 48. And you used to see a lot of this down and distance a long time ago. Not so much anymore. 1st and 25. Again, 3 receivers right. Bruce to the left. He's staying still this time. Lease takes the shoulder high snap. Here comes some pressure. Screen left, it's Fisher at the 45. 40 of Jamestown, 30. A lot of speed to the 20. Breaks free, 10. Down inside the 5-yard line. Naz Fisher on a screen play, but his speed, oh, did he make it work. Finally, it was Bennett Gaynor to bring him down. But it is all the way down to the 2-yard line of Jamestown. 46 more yards. And Noah Lease has 116 yards passing already, and he's 4 for 4. And Grand Forks Central is a couple of yards away from taking the lead. First and goal at the Jamestown 2-yard line. Thompson on a wing to the left. Lease with a keeper, and he's cut down on a good play by Eli Olson. May have fallen forward for maybe a nominal gain or no. Good play by Eli. Well, they will give him a yard to the 1-yard line, but Lease had that end zone in sight. The end zone on the north end to our right. But now it's second down and a goal from the 1-yard line for Central. Clock runs with 34 seconds left in the first quarter. 7-6 Jamestown on the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard, but Central looking to gain the lead. Again, a wing to the left is Eli Thompson. And Tom Perales behind Noah Lease in the backfield. Just one receiver set, 3 tight ends. Very high snap, ball's loose. Who fell on it? Lease wanted to. Jamestown may have. They did! Lease, after the snap was high, was still able to bring it in. Seffi Saylor makes the recovery for the Jays. Central has their second turnover. And another fumble. And this one, Jamestown recovers back. They're a long way to go, but they have the football back at their 4-yard line. With 14 seconds remaining in this opening quarter. 7-6 Jamestown in a game that's already seen a lot of action. Central piling up the offensive numbers. Handoff to Will Bennett from the end zone. Up the middle to the 5. Took a hard hit near the 6-yard line by Naz Fisher, and that'll end the first quarter of play where a whole lot happened, and Jamestown comes out of it with the slightest of leads. Through one on the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard at Hanson Stadium, it's Jamestown 7, Grand Forks Central 6. On Jamestown 107.1, this is the voice of the Blue Jays.
Buffalo City Diesel Jamestown is your one-stop shop for experienced truck services. Their top-notch techs are trained in the latest technology and can identify and fix problems in your medium or heavy-duty diesel trucks and buses. Buffalo City Diesel also offers roadside assistance, trailer services, and truck parts. Call Buffalo City Diesel today at 701-253-2844. That's Buffalo City Diesel at 701-253-2844.
Well, the numbers as we have them through one quarter of play, of course, the most important number is on the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard, where it is Jamestown leading Central by a score of 7-6. But a lot of yards in that first quarter because of those big plays for the Central Knights. 151 yards of offense. Jamestown 72. 116 yards passing already for Noah Lease. But one fumble led to a Jamestown touchdown. The other fumble was giving the Jays the ball back. On second down from their own 4, a pass on the left quickly is dropped by Cale Verkey from Brady Nenow, incomplete. And Verkey's not very happy with himself because he had that ball right in his hands and plenty of room for some good yardage. It was the 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage, not the 4. After the 2-yard run on first down. Now it is third down and 8 for Jamestown. They're 1 of 3 on third down tonight. And they want to make a move here, deep in their own territory. Up a point with the first quarter just underway at 7-6. From the end zone, Nenow is knocked down as the ball came out. Ooh, it's an incomplete pass. The official made a very definitive signal. Logan Voorhees got to him, but just barely. Just barely. Nenow got rid of that ball, or it would have been a safety and a Central lead. But here is peril, potentially, for Graydon Thorlickson. Remember, the last punt was blocked, and Graydon is standing on the E in Jamestown at the end zone to our Left the south one, 7 yards deep. Protection's better here, but he kicks it off the top of his foot. It does take a Jamestown bounce, but it's only just outside the Blue Jay 20-yard line. Oh, boy, only 15 yards on that punt. And the Central Knights, how about this field position? They're at the 21-yard line of Jamestown. With 11:42 left in the first half. No problem with the protection there. It's just that Graydon Thorlickson miskicked it. And it's a 21-yard field potentially for Central. Still the senior Noah Lease at quarterback. Wing right is, slot right is Zaid Martin. Wide right is Brooklyn Bruce. 1st and 10, Jamestown 21. Eli Thompson moves near to the left side of the wing. Handoff Naz Fisher tries to cut up 20. 15-yard line, barreling his way forward inside the 10. First down and goal for Jamestown. Liam Fry finally stopped him, but Naz Fisher, ooh, brother, again put on that big burst of speed. And it's right on the line to gain. They do say his knee is down at the 11, but that is indeed a first down. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line of Jamestown for Central. Down 7-6, 45 seconds into the second quarter. Fisher again in the backfield behind Noah Leases in the pistol. 2 receivers to the right. Hand to Fisher again. Looks for room at right guard, but pulled down after making it to about the 9 or 8. Andy Barrett made a line play with Ryan Doctor it was. Did hold Fisher to a gain of 2. Not a lot of body fat. We say he's 5'10", 201. There's not a lot of body fat on Naz Fisher. He's out and Anton Perales is back in. 2nd and 8 at the Jamestown 9. Lease takes the snap. Hand to Perales around left end. Breaks one tackle. Fry has him down near the 1-yard line. Remember that? They can make a first down at the 1 without scoring, and he's close to that. Fry with a stop. But now Grand Forks Central got close a moment ago and couldn't punch it in and lost a fumble. But right now they are back at the Jamestown 2. It is 3rd down and a yard. The Blue Jay fans encouraging their defense. Jamestown trying to hold on to a 7-6 lead. 9:50 in the first half on the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard. The 2 receivers, Bruce and Martin to the left. Perales in the backfield. The hand is Perales at right guard. Touchdown. The Central Knights have the lead. As Anton Perales has his 2nd touchdown of the game. They run a swinging gate. Dobrovolny, the kicker, is lined up to the left. And now out of that, Dobrovolny will now come back and meet holder Noah Lease for the extra point. It was missed the first one. Some Blue Jay got a hand on it. Now Dobrovolny, snap good, the hold good. This one not blocked by anybody. It's good. And Central has come back to take the lead for the first time this evening. 9:40 to go in the first half on the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard. A good one at Hanson Stadium. It's now Central 13, Jamestown 7 on Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Blue Jays.
Where do you find the friendliest staff, the largest selection, lowest prices, and the freshest produce? Hugo's in Jamestown. But if you can't wait to go to the store, Hugo's Family Marketplace offers online shopping. You can shop all the departments and all the sales at hugos.com. Once you're done shopping, choose pickup or Hugo's delivery service, and they'll do the in-store shopping for you. Hugo's Family Marketplace, online shopping at hugos.com.
You're gonna find more low prices, more great stuff when you go to Hugo's.
Central takes advantage of the short punt, goes 21 yards, and it ends with Anton Perales scoring for the 2nd time tonight. Now Ryan Dobrovolny will kick off. Cale Verkey, Seffi Saylor, and Aiden Scari awaiting back at the 5. A little bit of wind with Dobrovolny here. There hasn't been as much wind tonight, and certainly not as much as yesterday, but there is a little bit of a breeze with him. End over end kick by Dobrovolny, and backs Verkey back to his 1, 10, 15, 20. Tackle broken 30, and Cale's down at his 32. Good return there by Cale. That's 31 yards. Tyden Murph was finally able to stop him, but you know Cale Verkey can run. He certainly did there for a good return for Jamestown, who finds themselves trailing for the first time tonight. All the way out to the 33-yard line. That's a 32-yard run back by Cale Verkey. Tomorrow, an historic day for Jamestown Jimmy football. Their first game in NCAA Division II, and as a member of the NSIC, BJ Walters and I will have it for you from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. 12:30 tomorrow afternoon here on Jamestown 107.1. We can't wait. Verkey's in motion. 1st and 10 Jamestown from left to right to the 33, and a flag down because there was a legal procedure on Jamestown, and now Jamestown has their first penalty of the game, and they'll be backed up to their 28. Not many penalties in the Blue Jays last week, and that's their first one here tonight. 1st and 15 from their 28. Seffi Saylor. Tucker Allen's lined up as a wideout this time to the right. Saylor and Cale Verkey are in slots. Receiver to the left, 2. Brady Nino, the snap's very high, and he's able to grab it, and he is brought down right away. The snap way too high. And able to come in was Eli Fisher for one of the easiest sacks he'll ever have. And again, that high snap was what led to it. Nino, who is still down, was brought down back at the 22-yard line, and Brady is not up yet, and he's hurting. So this is potential trouble for Jamestown. This sophomore quarterback who performed really steadily last Friday night in Wapaton in his first start. Mason Ankenbauer and the folks from Jamestown Regional Medical Center are out there to take a look at him, and he is hurting. The hit was high, but I don't think there is anything wrong with the hit by Eli Fisher, but it may have been something where there was a little bit of a twist. We can't tell. All we know is that Brady Nenow is not up yet, and his teammates are all taking a knee and hoping for the best for him. We'll take a break while they tend to him. 9:20 first half. It is Grand Forks Central leading Jamestown 13-7 on Jamestown 107.1. And this is the voice of the Blue Jays.
In sports, in life, speed matters. That's why JRMC Orthopedics makes it easy to see a specialist fast. Right here in Jamestown. No long drives, no long waits. Just expert care from the team who knows the community best. Get back to doing what you love. Faster. Orthopedic care that keeps you moving. It's right here. Visit jrmcnd.com to learn more.
First, we'll do the housekeeping here and tell you that the sack was back to the 23-yard line of Jamestown, and then I'm going to deliver what potentially is not good news at all. Brady Nenow is having to be helped off the field. As he tried to walk off, he couldn't put any weight on his left leg and foot, and now they're helping him the rest of the way off. So sophomore Carson Schmidt takes over as the Blue Jay quarterback, 5'10", 170. Well, this is why you prepare him. The Jays didn't want to see it, but now the sophomore Schmidt will have his chance, and we'll keep our eye on Brady Nenow. But, oh, my goodness, right now it doesn't look good for him. Second down, the loss was back to the 22, 2nd and 21. They want to draw play up the middle with Fry. And he has a couple to his 24-yard line before he was brought in by Nolan Marshall. Oh, my goodness. This is, you don't want to see anybody hurt, of course, but this young man, the Nienau's, as you know, are athletic, competitive people. And now Brady Nienau's in that JRMC tent. 3rd and 19, Jamestown from their 24. So it's Carson Schmidt running the show at quarterback now. 4 receivers set, flags down. Somebody moved too soon, I think. Yes, indeed. It's a full start on Jamestown, and that'll be the second penalty on the Blue Jays. So they're set back to their 19. 3rd and 24 for Carson Schmidt in Jamestown. 2 receivers each way, and they just hand it to Fry again up the middle, 25. A lot of room for Liam, 35, 40. Not quite enough. Liam Fry corralled in by Tyson Vanyo. He nearly was able to make that first down marker, which was his 43, but is left a couple of yards short at the 41. Good run, though, for Liam of 22 yards. 7:55 first half, 13-7 the Central Knights, but the big story here, Jamestown starting quarterback Brady Nienau has been injured, and Carson Schmidt is in. They keep the offense on the field. Ooh, chance to take here, 4th down, a full 2 from their 41. 2 receivers right, 1 left, hand it to Fry, bounces off 1 tackle, but is a little short. Here's a flag, 2 at the end of the play. Let's check all this out. Zethan Feldman made the stop, and the Blue Jays are applauding. The flag came in as the play was ending. The carry was not enough for the first down, but let's see what this penalty is. The officials are still talking.
Personal foul. Legal hands to the face.
A hands to the face penalty, and it is on the Central Knights. That's a free and welcome first down for Jamestown. Oh boy, they will very happily take that. And now it is down to the 43-yard line of Central, and that's a first down. Carson Schmidt at quarterback. Blitz look here by Nass. Fisher made somebody jump on the Jamestown offensive line. Oh, nice job there by Fisher. Yeah, he was able to really bamboozle one of those linemen into thinking, oh my gosh, I got to get him. But it leads into a false start penalty. And they're back to the Central 48, Jamestown. Down 13-7. 7-10 first half on the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard. Glad you're with us. Carson Schmidt takes the shoulder high snap. Throws to the right. It is knocked down and incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The player with the best chance at that ball was Central quarterback Trey Clausen, the senior. So Carson Schmidt incomplete on his first attempt. And now it's second down and 15 for Jamestown at the Central 48. If you are just turning us on, Brady Nienau, the Blue Jay quarterback, injured a moment ago. Appeared to be an issue with his left leg. Carson Schmidt in. He throws to the right now and overthrows Allen at the 36-yard line. Way overthrew him. Well, Schmidt does have a good arm, but sailed that one that was intended for Allen, and now it's third down and 15 for the Jays right now. Now the challenge is don't get that dauber down. Yeah, you've seen one of your leaders, and he is Nienau, the junior, get hurt. Jager Remick, Seffi Saylor to the left for Jamestown. Cale Verkey to the right. Tucker Allen says, where do I line up? He'll go back to his tight end spot, and coming to the other side to the right is Saylor, the wide side. Third and 15 from the Central 48. Schmidt with a throw left. One-on-one coverage. It is Remick. Is he out of bounds or is he inbounds? He's inbounds and with a first down. He was battling over there with Zaid Martin. They each got their little bump in, but Remick with another big catch. That's 30 yards. And the first completed pass for Carson Schmidt is a big one for a young man in Jager Remick, who is already proving to be quite a possession receiver for this team. First down and 10, Jamestown. The Central 18 down 13-7, 6:53 and a half. Schmidt with a handoff to Liam Fry up the middle, but wrapped up immediately. Another good play by Zethan Feldman. Yeah, I'd say that Feldman is what they called in the old days keen, what they call these days spying on Liam Fry. No gain there. Feldman's made 3 good plays on him, the 6', 190-pound junior. Two receivers to the right for Carson Schmidt on second down and 10 for Jamestown at the Central 18 from left to right. Snap to Schmidt, throw to the right, caught by Allen, but spilled at the 15-yard line of Central after the pursuit by Brooklyn Bruce. Now they'll make it third down and 7. They know what a dependable receiver Tucker Allen can be, and sticking right with him there was Bruce, the safety. Third down and 7, Jamestown. The Central 15. They're 2 for 6 on third down. Throw to the left is intercepted. And running free down the left side is Zaid Martin. He's to the 50 of Jamestown, to the 30, to the 20, and he's gone. Zaid Martin has run back an 87-yard interception return for a touchdown as Central widens the lead. Zaid Martin. And that was a pass that didn't make the intended receiver. And Ryan Dobrovolny will try to make it a 13-point lead with the extra point for Central. And the Jays have a little bit of a problem now. It's on the way, and it's no good. He hooked it to the left. But Grand Forks Central with the interception return for the score by the senior Zaid Martin has taken a 12-point lead. 5:25 first half at Hanson Stadium, and now it is Central 19, Jamestown 7 on Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Blue Jays.
Need some custom screen printed t-shirts? Lots of t-shirts? You need originals.
Originals!
Or do you just need one shirt with your corporate logo for the new guy?
Originals!
Caps, jackets, U sizes, adult sizes, Blue Jay apparel, Jimmy apparel. You need originals. There you have it, folks. For custom printed apparel, embroidery, and work apparel, it's Originals. They can also do online stores for your sports team or business. 216 First Avenue, downtown Jamestown. Open 9 to 5 weekdays. Visit originals.com.
Now with their starting quarterback out, Jamestown finds themselves in a little bit deeper hole after the 87-yard interception return for a touchdown by Zaid Martin. Dobrovolny, and they're able to kick it. And from the 16 down to around the 27-yard line is Aiden Scary. It's Dobrovolny trying to make that one a tough one to handle. So Scary will spot it back at the 24-yard line of Jamestown, actually. With 5:16 left in the first half, and with the sophomore Carson Schmidt, well, now all of a sudden He's the one in the spotlight. Handoff. Liam Fry is brought down immediately. Here's Zethan Feldman again. He's been the best player on the field. The loss is a yard. And it's 2nd down and 11 for Jamestown. Snap is back to Carson Schmidt. Throw down the middle in some traffic, and able to bring it in is Saylor in between two defenders down at his 28. Dangerous pass there. Saylor able to catch it. So from their 28, it's 3rd down and 6. A screen down the middle didn't make it to the intended receiver, Fry, and it's incomplete. And yeah, I'm telling you, Central's bringing the house now, man. They're bringing everybody they can now on Carson Schmidt, and it's 4th down. It'll be punt formation for Jamestown again. Central smelling a little blood here. 4:01 in the first half, 19-7 Central. Snap is back. And the kick by Tholickson and a couple of bounces. Brooklyn Bruce takes it at his 34 and forced out of bounds at his 40 for a 6-yard run back. 3:53 now left in the half. So after a 38-yard punt on a 6-yard return, the Central Knights have it back. They have all 3 of their timeouts. Jamestown with 2 of theirs. They used one earlier, 1st and 10. From their 40 for Central. Left hash wide side to the right. 2 receivers, short side to the left. Lease hands off, why not? Naz Fisher around right end, trying to turn that corner around Kleingen. 45-yard line. Kleingen gives him a shove out of bounds, but he's all the way to the Jamestown 49. 11 more yards for Naz Fisher. And gives Central their 7th first down. And Naz Fisher continues to run. 1st and 10 Central, the 49-yard line of Jamestown. Plenty of time here for the Knights. 3:46 in the first half. They've opened up a 12-point lead at 19-7. And we'll tell you about Brady Nenow in a moment. First, the handoff here goes up the middle, just an off-tackle play to Fisher, but no more than a couple as the Jays were in there that time, namely Cody Barrett. Out of the tent has come Brady Nenow. He is now sitting on the Jamestown bench. But as we say, when he came off the field, he couldn't put any weight on his left leg or foot. 2nd down and 8 for Central, the Jamestown 47. Thompson now to a wing right. Eli Thompson. 2 receivers to the left. Martin and Bruce. Little delay by Lease. Now he takes it himself up the middle, 45, 41-yard line. Lease just stood there for a moment and then said, oh, wait a minute, I better run. He has 6 to the Blue Jays 41. Seffi Saylor. Jamestown made the stop. That was a strange-looking start to that play. But 3rd and more than manageable here for Central. 3rd and 2 at the Jamestown 41. They've only been to 3rd down twice tonight, converted them both. They've had big plays to help them along. 2:30 in the first half. 19-7 Central, and they're 3rd and 2 at Jamestown's 41 from the right hash. Handed to Perales. Good play from behind to bring him down. Only a yard gain to the 40. Jet Wharton grabbed him by the ankles and made sure he wouldn't gain any more than the yard he did. In fact, no gain. They don't even give him anything. But certainly in this spot, Central will keep that offense on the field. 4th down and 2. 2 minutes left in the half at the Jamestown 41. Central with the ball and a 19-7 lead over the Jays. 2 receivers left. Perales in the backfield, deep behind Noah Lee, standing at the Jamestown 45. Still 10 to snap. He'll let that clock run. Now he comes up under center, and now Jake Schauer is going to call a Hillerud construction timeout, as he wasn't sure, and neither were they, what they were going to run. So I said it wrong before. Central's now down to 1 timeout. A Hillerud construction timeout. 1:45 in the half. We'll take a break. It is Central with the ball and leading Jamestown 19-7 at Hanson Stadium in Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Blue Jays.
Before you can start building a business, you have to have great builders. Hillerud Construction is a builder of high-quality commercial buildings, and they're hiring talented labor and carpenters to help them do just that. Vacation, paid holidays, 401k, and health insurance benefits for full-time employees, plus great pay depending on experience. Apply at 1008 2nd Avenue Southeast, Jamestown, or visit HillerudConstruction.com. Again, visit HillerudConstruction.com, and let's get building.
After the timeout, Central 3rd and 2, Jamestown 4th and 2. They've changed their mind. They're going to punt with Brooklyn Bruce. I think they just wanted to draw the Jays offside. They didn't. Fair catch is taken by Jamestown's Cale Verke. 1:40 to go in the half. So it is Jamestown that has all their timeouts. After this first punt of the night by Brooklyn Bruce, spotted at the 7-yard line. So Jamestown has a minute 40 to cut into this lead. And they hand off at right guard, and not much there. Maybe a yard, but no more for Fry. And this gives you the indication that Jamestown possibly might not be too interested in stopping this clock, which is now down to 1:15, 19-7 Central. 2nd down, let's call it 10. Back of the ball's on the Jamestown 7. Carson Schmidt, who is in for the injured Brady Nenow, stands at his 2. Hands to Fry again, up the middle. 10-yard line, maybe the 12. And again, Jamestown doesn't look interested in stopping the clock. So, and deep in your own territory here. A long way to go. So, seeing that, it is the Central Knights who take their final timeout. So we'll leave it here while they do. With 57 seconds to go in the first half, Central leading 19-7, and Jake Schauer doesn't mind doing this, even though it is his last time out to burn. One more stop. He can force a Jamestown punt and get this ball back. Of course, punting for the Jays tonight has been, unfortunately for them, sometimes adventuresome. Our Armstown halftime report is on the way. We'll look back at this first half. We'll give you other scores, too. But the big story, the injury to Brady Nenow, who now, I can tell you, on the Jamestown bench is standing up. Helmet off. But at least he's on his feet. That's a good sign. But it is Carson Schmidt, the sophomore at quarterback. 3rd and 4, Jamestown from their 13. Schmidt in the pocket. It breaks down on him, and down he goes. Logan Voorhees came in for the second sack of the night for the Central Knights. Now they can't stop the clock again. You know Jamestown won't in this instance. They're back at their 7. It was a loss of 6. 33 seconds in the half. They do have to snap it. There's 20 in the play clock. Thorlickson standing 8 yards deep in the end zone. Brooklyn Bruce comes all the way down to the Jamestown 20. You know Central's going to put pressure on. They've already blocked one tonight. 18 seconds, 17. 15, 4 on the play clock. 3, 2. Low snap. Thorlickson boots it away. Bruce takes it, drops it, picks it back up at the 33 of Jamestown. 30, 25, but here comes a flag. 20 to the 15, pushed out of bounds by Tucker Allen at the 11. There's 1 second left in the half after all that, and a penalty flag is down. So a good return, but Central, it doesn't appear, is going to be in the red zone. A hold is called here.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
And it's 10 yards from that spot. Bruce took it at the 34. The run back would have been to the 13, but instead, they're going to be even further back to the 36-yard line. So give him 8 on the return. And then the 10-yard penalty. Well, they have 1 second. They have 3 receivers to the left, too, so they might be going for it here. 1st and 10, Jamestown 36. Half can end, on a defensive penalty, and they have the sophomore Brody Lettich in at quarterback. Lettich, he's got a big arm and throws long to the right, but Bruce trying to keep his feet in bounds, overthrown. It's incomplete, and that ends the first half. So on Lettich's first throw of the night, they were going for broke a little bit. And why not already with a 12-point lead? They took advantage of Jamestown mistakes, and now we can tell you and we can see as Brady Nenow, the starting quarterback for the Jays, moves with his teammates to the south end zone to our left. He is using crutches. Halftime score on the Gunner Reel Sports scoreboard. The Central Knights 19, the Jamestown Blue Jays 7. The Armstown halftime report is next. And as we tell you that, we remind you, too, that Johnny B's Brick House brings you the streaming video of tonight's game. The link to it is at newsdakota.com. Click on the sports tab, then click where it says sports schedule, and you'll find the link to the Jamestown 107.1 Sports YouTube channel. But it'll be a hill to climb for the Jays in their second half without their starting quarterback. Armstown halftime report next on Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Blue Jays.
It's Twins baseball season, and at RM Stout Incorporated, we're hitting a grand slam of deals on new and used vehicles. Just like the Twins, we're dedicated to winning for you. From sleek sedans and SUVs to powerful trucks, find your perfect ride at RM Stout Inc. We've got the selection, the service, and the financing options you need. So root for the Twins and cruise on down to RM Stout today. Visit us in Jamestown. Call 701-252-2270 or browse online at stoutcars.com. RM Stout Incorporated, for the best value.
Parents, keep your kids on track by scheduling a well child or teen visit at Essentia Health. Annual well child visits help catch potential issues early to support the healthiest future possible. In addition to thorough exams and vaccinations, our team provides valuable health and safety advice and takes time to discuss any physical or mental health concerns. Call your local Essentia Health clinic or visit essentiahealth.org to schedule a well child or teen visit today.
This is the sound of a good old-fashioned garage. It's called Pit Stop Express Lube and More in downtown Jamestown at 117 4th Street Northwest. Are you a new UJ student? Bring your vehicle to Pit Stop. They'll make sure your tires are good, fluids are filled, and your vehicle is perfectly maintained for safety. And UJ students get a 10% discount when you show your student ID, and no appointment is necessary for oil changes. Pit Stop Express Lube and More. Call 952-7867.
Attention all physical therapists and physical therapy assistants. Are you ready to love where you work? At Apex Physical Therapy and Wellness Center, we're hiring, and this isn't just another job opportunity. Here, you'll enjoy a true work-life balance, a comprehensive benefits package, and a positive, supportive team culture. And we're offering a signing bonus for you to come on board. This is your chance to grow your passion while making a real impact in the lives of our patients. Apply now at apexptwellness.com.
Apex Physical Therapy and Wellness Center. Physical medicine with personal connection. Are you looking for a rewarding job and a great environment where you can make a difference in someone else's life every day? SMP Health Ave Maria in Jamestown is looking for you. Visit smphealth.org/Ave Maria and click on the Careers tab to find the most up-to-date openings available. smphealth.org/Ave Maria. They're currently looking for nurses, housekeepers, CNAs, and universal assistants. Be sure to visit the website if you're interested and qualified for for any of the positions that are open at smphealth.org/Ave Maria.
At Unison Bank, we provide financial solutions for customers to meet their needs today and achieve their dreams tomorrow. From personal banking services like checking accounts, mortgage and auto loans, to business banking services. At Unison Bank, we offer financial solutions with prompt responses and quality service. Visit unisonbank.com for more information. Located in Jamestown, Linton, and Wishing, as well as Gilbert, Arizona. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Well, this time the start was good tonight for the Jamestown Blue Jays, but they lost the lead, and now they've lost their starting quarterback. We're at the half at Raleigh-Greeno Field at Charlotte and Gordon Hanson Stadium, and the Central Knights have scored 19 points in a row to come from an early 7-0 deficit, and they lead the Jamestown Blue Jays on the Gun and Reel Sports scoreboard in Jamestown's home opener for 2025, 19-7. I'm David Burrell. Thanks so much for joining us on Jamestown 107.1, and as we just reminded you a moment ago, Johnny B's Brickhouse bringing you the streaming video. Watch it at newsdakota.com. That's where you can find the link if you go to the sports tab and the sports schedule page. Yeah, Liam Fry rushed for an 8-yard score with 7:25 to go in the first quarter, and it was just a fine start for Jamestown, completing a 51-yard 8-play drive, and it was 7-0 for Jamestown after Chase Trout made the extra point. Well, the first of the big plays for Central came on their next possession. On 3rd down and 16, Noah Lease found Brooklyn Bruce for a 61-yard play to the Jamestown 7, and Anton Perales rushed it in on the very next play. However, Jay got a hand on the extra point attempt, and it was wide, and the Jays held the lead by a score of 7-6. But then came another big play, big this time again for Central, a blocked punt, and another big play on offense. Noah Lease for a 46-yard play, but a lost fumble. However, then a 15-yard punt by Graydon Thorlickson was able to set Central up at the 21. This is in the second quarter, and after a couple of runs by Naz Fisher and one by Anton Perales, Perales finished up the 21-yard drive with a 2-yard score. Extra point by Ryan Dobrovolny, 9:40 in the half, and now it was a 13-7 lead for Central. And then came the play on the first play of the next drive that the Jays don't change the fortune of their entire season. Brady Nenow was sacked by Eli Fisher. The hit was clean, but Nenow came down wrong on his left foot or ankle. As we said when he came off the field, couldn't put any weight on, and as we mentioned a moment ago, now is in crushes, and Carson Schmidt has taken over at quarterback since then. Now, he was able to find Jager Remick for a 30-yard play, but then another big play by Central, this one on the defensive end, an 87-yard interception return for a score by Zaid Martin with 5:25 left in the half. And that's how the Central Knights have their 19-7 halftime lead over the Jamestown Blue Jays in Jamestown's 2025 home opener, and now having to deal without their starting quarterback. This is the Armstown Halftime Report. Armstown is your Ford, Dodge, and Jeep dealer in Jamestown. We'll look at stats and look around the scoreboard next on Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Blue Jays.
Some of us were born to farm. Some diesels, like Cenex Premium Diesel, were born to fuel. Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster comes with a more complete additive package for a more complete burn to reduce particulate matter and keep filters cleaner for longer. Fuel your equipment like a pro with Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster and leave typical number 2 diesel to the amateurs. Cenex Premium Diesel. Diesel that doesn't mess around.
When you're working outdoors, unpredictability is the norm. Tackle your toughest jobs with the 2025 Honda Pioneer 700. This rugged side-by-side brings the power with reliable torque for towing and smooth shifting for the trails. Choose from 3 trims, Standard, Deluxe, or the True Timber Forest Edition. See the 2025 Honda Pioneer 700 at Gun & Reel Sports, downtown Jamestown. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear a helmet, eye protection, close side nets and doors, and always wear seatbelts. Honda side-by-sides are for riders 16 and older.
The Armstown halftime report in Hanson Stadium, where Jamestown trails Central by a score of 19-7. The numbers as we had them in the first half, big yardage for Central. They had over 150 yards in the very first quarter. In fact, they had 151 in the opening quarter, 191 for the first half of this game, 127 for Jamestown. 75 yards rushing for Central, 116, a big night so far for Noah Lease, who's completed all 4 passes he's attempted, and 75 yards rushing, a lot of those by Naz Fisher. Jamestown has 71 yards rushing and 56 through the air. 7 first downs for Central, 5 for Jamestown. There have been 3 penalties on Central for 31 yards, 3 for Jamestown for 15. Time of possession in Jamestown's favor, 13:04 to Central's 10:56. Of course, they've had those big plays. And looking individually at Central's numbers, Lease, as we say, 4 for 4 passing, 116 yards. There was the one big play, the 61-yarder to Brooklyn Bruce. The other big play, the 46-yarder to Naz Fisher. Eli Thompson had 2 receptions for 9 yards in that first half. And Fisher also ran for 50 yards on 7 carries. Anton Perales, who has both of the offensive touchdowns for Central, 6 carries for 27 yards. Looking at individual, the offensive numbers for the Jamestown Blue Jays. Before he was hurt, Brady Nenow, well, he'd been struggling. Only 2 of 7, 20 yards. Carson Schmidt took over 4 of 7, 36 yards, but also the very costly interception. Tucker Allen with 3 catches for 9 yards. Will Bennett 1 for 14. The big one for Jager Remick that we told you about, 1 for 30, and 1 for 3 for Seffi Saylor. Liam Fry with another good night running the ball so far, 73 yards and 11 carries. Will Bennett 9 on 3 carries. Nenow 1 for -5. That was the sack that on the play that saw him come out of the game. And Carson Schmidt 1 for -6. That was on a sack. A couple of sacks so far in this game for the Central Knights. And they lead Jamestown at the half on the Gun & Reel Sports scoreboard, 19-7. And we're glad to have you with us this evening. And we have still more ahead for you on the Armstown halftime report, as next we will look at other scores in games of 11AA teams and elsewhere too in teams around the area. Next here on Jamestown 107.1, this is the voice of the Blue Jays.
Do you want to make sure homework time isn't spent on games and video streaming? Dakota Central can help. With Experience IQ, you set limits to ensure your kids aren't playing when they should be doing homework. With premium managed Wi-Fi from Dakota Central, you can create healthier internet habits for your children from the easy-to-use Command IQ app. Learn more about premium Wi-Fi and Experience IQ today at www.dakotacentral.com.
You know you don't really want that hurry-up, bought on the cheap, not sure what I got insurance coverage. Good, because Farmers Union insurance agents do things just a little different. We'll work with you personally for home, auto, business, or farm insurance and tailor the exact coverage plan you need, because we're not satisfied until you are. Different? You bet. Farmers Union Insurance. Simply different.
Good luck to the Blue Jays and Jimmys from your local Farmers Union agent, Steve Benyon.
Not all products underwritten by Farmers Union Insurance.
Here is your Egg Central forecast from meteorologist Mick Kerr. Tonight, cloudy, 40 for the overnight low. Tomorrow, sunny. Continued cool. High temperatures just in the low 60s for Saturday. Winds will be northwest 5 to 15 tomorrow night. Skies clear again. Some mid-30s possible. Maybe lows mostly in the upper 30s. And for Sunday, mostly sunny. Still cool, the 60s, but 75 to 80. Returns coming up on Monday in the 70s for most of next week. For more weather, log on to newsdakota.com.
The Armstown halftime report winding down at Hanson Stadium with the second half just ahead. Central leading Jamestown 19-7. Blue Jays will receive the second half kickoff. Other 11 AA scores tonight. Minot North is leading at Fargo South 14-7 at halftime. Sentinels being given a little bit of a tussle. Central Cass, they'll be here next Friday, and they're at home tonight, even with Devils Lake at 7, midway through quarter number 2. Red River, who lost their opener, is leading St. Mary's in Bismarck at the half, 14-7. And Watford City is all over Wahpeton. Boy, that Wahpeton team we told you last week, going through some injuries, 2 of their important players out. They lost another. Well, Watford City's having a big night at home, 39-12, leading Wahpeton with 4 minutes to play in that game. Kindred, the other new team at 11 AA, ranked second, is leading at now 11 AAA Horace, 34-26 with 7 minutes to go in that game. And Dickinson all over Williston, the Mavericks leading on the road 35-0 with a minute left in the first half. Other 11 AAA teams, top-ranked Davies leading in Bismarck over Century 13-3 midway through the third. Second-ranked Legacy trailing at West Fargo 21-13 late in the third. Third-ranked Bismarck leading Fargo North at the half in the capital city 14-0. Shanley, fourth-ranked, leading at Mandan 27-6. Just under a minute left in the second half. Now in 11A, second-ranked Ellendale, Edgeley Colum having no problem with Mayport CG and Ellendale 41-0 EEK, 3 minutes left in the half. Oaks trailing Hillsborough Central Valley, a minute and a half left in the half, 14-13. Valley City looking for win number 1. They've dropped their first 2. And at Hannah Field, they lead Sargent County 16-8, 4 minutes left in the half. Carrington trying to improve to 2-1, and the Cardinals with a 7-0 lead in Carrington, their home opener over Grafton, and that is at halftime. Napoleon Gackle Streeter in 9-man had started 2-0, but ran into a good Grant County Flasher team today, and Grant County Flasher wins, but only by 28-20, so NGS gave them a tough time. So here we go in the second half. Jamestown will receive the second half kickoff, which is brought to you by RM Stout for the best value. It'll be Ryan Dobrovolny to kick off. For Central, and the 3 receivers are deep for Jamestown. Cale Verkey, Seffi Saylor, and Aiden Scari back at around their 5. Jamestown mainly in blue with some white tops, maroon pants, and maroon helmets for Central. Of course, the J helmets are white with the Blue Jay logo on one side and the number in blue on the other. Dobrovolny getting the kickoff unit together. Jamestown needs a good drive to start the second half. Again, they're having to go with sophomore quarterback Carson Schmidt after Brady Nenow was injured in the first half. So what will the second half bring in this very interesting football game? But it's turned Central's way. Dobrovolny from right to left. Again, trying to make the kick difficult to handle, and Jamestown gladly lets that go out of bounds. A short kick, he was trying to spin it, and he did spin it, but he put it way, way shorter than he wanted to. And the option taken by the Blue Jays here will be for them to have it at their 35-yard line. That is what is usually done. So, on first down, here is a handoff from Schmidt. And he brings it up the middle for about 3 to Liam Fry to his 38. My little stats thing I have using here just went kablooey. I'm sorry I won't be able to bring you any more numbers this evening. The most important number is Central leading Jamestown 19-7. Second down, 7 for Jamestown. The Jays are from their 38. 3 receivers to the right. Carson Schmidt with a throw to the right. This is caught by Tucker Allen, 40-yard line, 45. That's a first down. And he's down to around his 48, and he was stopped by Nas Fisher. And that'll make Carson Schmidt feel a little better. You know that when he realized that Brady Nenow was hurt and had to come in the game, of course he was going to be ready for it, but then he realizes, oh my gosh, it's happening now. But he threw that ball with confidence to Tucker Allen. First and 10, Jamestown, the Jays at their 48. 2 receivers wide left, 2 receivers short right. Cale Verkey is sent in motion from right to left. And the handoff is to Liam Fry at left guard to midfield to the 48, 47, 46-yard line of Central, and takes 3 tacklers with him for a good gain of about 6 yards. 73 yards in the first half for Fry. Jamestown with Fry scored the first touchdown. Central has scored the last 3. Wide to the left, Jager Remick. Slot to the left, Seffi Saylor. Slot to the right, Cale Verkey. Wide to the right, Tucker Allen. Second down, 4, Jamestown Central's 46. Hand to Fry, stuffed right up the middle. It's going to be a loss of a yard back to the 47 as Nolan Marshall, the lineman, just met him head on. And that brings up 3rd and 5 for the Jays. Over to the sideline is Carson Schmidt to bring in the play. No huddle, plenty of time to snap it, still 15. 2 receivers each way again. Ball's nearer the right hash from left to right. On 3rd down and 5. Waist-high snap to Schmidt. He throws to the left. Saylor open, caught at the 37-yard line of Central and down at the 35 for a first down. Gain of 12, another confident throw there by Carson Schmidt. Gain of 11, make it to the 36-yard line. Of Central, but that's a first down. Hand off to Fry around right end, trying to break one ankle tackle, and then is stopped right back at the line of scrimmage. That is Zethan Feldman again, who's been shadowing him a lot of the game. Eli Thompson grabbed him by the ankle and almost had him for about a 3-yard loss, but Fry broke free of that. Second down and 10, Jamestown. After no gain, they're at the 36-yard line of Central. 8:50 in the third, 19-7 Central on top. Snap back to Schmidt, shoulder high this time. Some pressure. Throw to the right. Tucker, incomplete. Great play to knock it away by Trey Clausen. Clausen jumped that route and prevented Allen from making a play on it. And Jamestown now faces 3rd down and 10. Again with the spread, no huddle. Tucker Allen right over there with offensive coordinator Phil Kraber to make sure of what this play is. And now Carson Schmidt has it. He's 5'10", 170 pounds. So not quite as tall as Nee now. Snap is back to Schmidt, a roll to the left. Here comes Thompson with pressure. Throw down the middle against his body and incomplete. And then he got hit hard, but he's back up. He was going for Javier Remick at the 15, but there was a convoy coming for Schmidt. 4th down and 10, and the Jays will go into punt formation with Graydon Thorlickson backing up to midfield. They just want to pin Central deep here with 8:36 in the third and down 19-7. The returners are Brooklyn Bruce and Zaid Martin back at around their 6. No pressure here. Line drive kick. Bruce takes it at his 5. Brooklyn trying to break away from Scarry, but he has him wrapped up and held him to a 2-yard return down at the 7 with Braden Hemmicker helping out to end the play. So Jamestown had to punt. Now Central is back at their 7. 1st and 10 with 8:27 left in the third. And on the Gun and Reel Sports scoreboard, it's a 19-7 Central lead. 2 touchdown runs by Anton Perales and the long interception return of 87 yards by Zaid Martin. Liam Fry scored first for Jamestown. 1st and 10 Central from their 7. Noah Lease, the senior quarterback, in the pistol. Eli Thompson in motion to the left wing. 2 receivers to the right. Handed to Naz Fisher after his 50-yard first half. Up the middle at the 10. Breaks away outside. 15-yard line. 20. 25 of Central all the way near the 30. 23 more for Naz Fisher and a first down for the Central Knights. As Fisher breaks away again for 23 more. $8:10 in the third. Remember, watch the game. Johnny B's Brick House has the streaming video for you. Find the link at newsdakota.com in the sports schedule section. You click on sports, then you click on sports schedule. You'll find that link. Handoff, Anton Perales around right guard from the 30s down to his 33. About 3 yards on that gain. Central does keep that clock running. Ryland Doctor the stop. They're not going to quite as many runners as they did last week. They used Perales and Fisher and against St. Mary's and John Sherrick and Logan Voorhees and Carson Kortba too, but they've only used Perales and Fisher running tonight. 2nd and 7 Central from their 33. Receiver to the right. And the fake to Fisher around the left end. Lease, 35-40, first down, 45. He's all the way down to midfield. Noah Lease with a big run. Graydon Hemiger with the hands on the ankles. Graydon Thorlington also stopped the play. But Noah Lease runs for 17. And a Grand Forks Central first down at midfield. And they've eaten up about 2 minutes here. Still 7 minutes left in the third. 19-7, Central leading Jamestown on the Gunner Reel Sports scoreboard, trying to win here again. 2 years ago, they won in the 11AA semifinal, and a result not many outside the Knights expected. On the midfield stripe from right to left, 1st and 10. Back to throw is Lee. Some pressure, throwing long to the right, and he just overthrows Trey Clausen, who was covered well by Braden Heminger. There's the first incompletion for Lease. He had completed his first 4 passes. Brody Ledidge had the one incompletion near the end of the half. 2nd down and 10 at midfield for Central. Cody Barrett, the nose tackle, lining up over the football. Jet Wharton on one side of him and Ryland Doctor on the other in that front 3 for Jamestown. 2 receivers right and 1 to the left for Central. They line up at the left hash. Lease with the snap and the hand on the left side to Perales, 45-yard line, and forced out of bounds at the 43-yard line of Jamestown for 7 more. Perales has the 2 short touchdowns, but he worked his way well outside on that run for 7 to leave again 3rd and quite manageable here for Central. 3rd and 3. Brooklyn Bruce is to the right, along with Zaid Martin. Tyson Vanyo out. Now Carter Bossert will come in and line up as a tight end to the left. They still have 6 to snap. Thompson away to the left. 2 on the timer, 1. They do snap it in time. Hand it to Perales at left guard, 40. First down. 37-yard line of Jamestown. 6 more. Well, the hit was made by Graydon Thorlickson, but all of that, I got to get you in, and they still were able to set up the play well, and they're at the Jamestown 37. 6:28 in the third. Brady Nee now, again we see him on crutches with his left foot bandaged. Got sacked and hurt in the first half. Lease under some pressure as he throws a screen left, 35. It's Naz Fisher, 30. Tries to leap over Thorlickson, who really wasn't there to leap over. He's down to the 20, and there's a flag. And I'll tell you what it's for. In college and the pros, you can do that. You can leap over players. They don't let you do that in high school football. This gain would be to the 20-yard line of Jamestown for 17 more yards and another first down. But it's going to come back. The only other time I've ever seen this called, Lincoln Keenholz, who's now at Ohio State, was an outstanding quarterback in Pierce, South Dakota. He got called for doing that in a championship game a few years ago in the neighboring state to the south. But that flag came out right away when Naz made that leap. Now they're going to wave it off.
There was contact. In order for it to be a hurdle, he has to clear the defender.
So what the official, you may have heard him say, that there was actually contact. For the hurdle and the penalty to be called, you have to clear the defender. Well, they ruled that there was contact on Fisher. So the play stands. 15 yards to the Jamestown 22. First down and 10. 88 yards now for Fisher. Thompson in motion to the left. They now have Voorhees in the backfield, and Noel's hands it to Logan Voorhees. 20, 17, 15-yard line. Just barrels his way forward for 7 more. Logan Voorhees, first carry of this evening. Liam Fry was in on the stop. There's been only one pass play on this drive. They'll give him 6 to the 16, but there's been only one pass play in the 8 on this drive for the Central Knights, who now are 2nd down and 4 at Jamestown 16 and already leading 19-7 on the Gunner Reel Sports scoreboard with 5.5 minutes left in the third at Hanson Stadium. Glad you're with us. Eli Thompson to a wing right, 2 receivers left. And to Voorhees at right guard. 15 down to the 13-yard line. That's still going to be short, but Central doesn't mind that all that much because they can run some more time off the clock. He needed the 12 for the first down. He gained the 13, so it's 3rd down and a yard as the clock ticks under 5 minutes left in the third. And again, Brooklyn Bruce and Zaid Martin line up to the left. Now an I backfield. We haven't seen this yet tonight. Lease is under center and hands off to Fisher up the middle. 15 to the 10, down near the 7-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for Central. Wrapped up, but not until he made the 8-yard line for 5 more. Fisher's up by our count to 93 yards, and now it looks like, or make it to the 9-yard line for 4. So make it 92 for Fisher. But I'll tell you, it looks like this Jamestown defense is starting to get worn down a little. Down to 4:33 in the third. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line of Jamestown for Central. Lease is under center again. Again, they run it out of the I. And a flag down. The fullback is Thompson, and it's an illegal procedure or false start penalty against Central, which will put them back to the Jamestown 14. But everybody in Stutzman County knows what they're probably going to keep doing, keep running. Clock runs again, 4:18 in the third quarter. And again, we see Brady Nee now unhappily on crutches. His left leg hurt when he was sacked in the first half. 1st and goal, Central of the Jamestown 14. 3 receivers to the left. Pistol again for Noah Lease. And a quick throw to the right and out of the reach of the intended receiver at around the 5. That was Brooklyn Bruce. So 2 straight incompletions for Lease after he completed his first 4. 2nd down and goal now. Stops the clock with 3:55 remaining in the third quarter. Central's had the ball over 5.5 minutes on this drive, and they're trying to expand a 19-7 lead over Jamestown in the Jays home opener at Hanson Stadium. Again, it's Brooklyn Bruce and Zaid Martin to the left. You hear again the crowd encouraging the Blue Jay defense. The handoffs to Fisher up the middle at the 10-yard line, allowing the left end to the 5, and he's all the way down near the 2. Braden Heminger was in on that play, but now Naz Fisher, by our count, is over the 100-yard mark. With that run down to the 2-yard line, a gain of 12 gives him 104 this evening. Now 3rd down and goal to go for Central at the Jamestown 2. Again, it's Bruce and Martin to the left. Here's again that I backfield. Thompson dotted by Naz Fisher. Noah Lease under center. At 3:15 in the third, Noah takes a snap. Hand to Fisher up the middle. Trying to get a push ahead at right guard. He's in for the touchdown. Naz Fisher, after a touchdown last week, has his 2nd of the season after he had a couple last year. And the Central lead now is at 18. Ryan Dobrovolny. His name is not Anton. Ryan Dobrovolny will try the extra point out of Noah Leese's hold. Eli Fisher snaps it back. And the Jays' hole has just become even larger. Kick is on the way. Hooked it again to the left. But Central increases their advantage. 3:09 left in the third quarter at Hanson Stadium. And on the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard now, it is Grand Forks Central 25, Jamestown 7. On Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Blue Jays.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the NDHSAA and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, how's that drive for Central? They like it a lot. 93 yards in 12 plays, ending in the Naz Fisher touchdown. He's now up to 106 yards tonight. Extra point missed. But the lead is now 25-7 for the Central Knights. Jamestown needs a big return here. Cale Verkey, Seffi Saylor, and Aiden Scary are waiting for Ryan Dobrovolny's kick. The senior boots it, and it drives Verkey back into the end zone. That's a touchback. So each kicker has had a touchback tonight, and Jamestown starts at their 20. And again, having to use their backup quarterback, sophomore Carson Schmidt. After Brady Nino had to leave the game, an injury to his left leg, he stands on the sidelines in crutches. Walking on crutches anyway. 1st and 10 Jamestown from their 20, from left to right. In mainly blue uniforms, white helmets. Carson Schmidt is back to throw. To the right, flat, incomplete. Naz Fisher dropped it. He would have had 6 points. He was going for Tucker Allen. And Naz Fisher was looking at 23 yards of sprint turf in front of him to maybe put this game away, but he dropped it. They've already had the one big interception return tonight from Zaid Martin. 2nd and 10 Jamestown from their 20. 2 receivers each way. Carson Schmidt takes it himself, runs for the first time, 25-yard line, down near the 29. Good run by Carson. 9 yards, and he was in the arms of Eli Thompson. But Carson, not a bad run. 3rd down and a yard. But the Jays have to keep moving that ball and do so with some alacrity. Down 25-7 to Central in the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard. 2:35 in the third. It's a direct snap to Fry. He was the one who had to carry on the last play, by the way, not the quarterback, Schmidt. Fry, after a 9-yard run, now runs it out to his 36, but there is a flag down at the end of the play. Would be a first down. What's the flag for? It is a hold on Jamestown to wipe out a first down run. There haven't been many penalties, as we say, in the first 2 weeks from the Jays, but that one hurts a little bit. Instead of a first down at their 36, they're now back at their 26, and they face 3rd down and 4. Two receivers again each way. Now Schmidt is back in there. They're not on the Wildcat this time. Carson's back at his 16. Throws left, caught by Fry. 25, 27, upended. Good first touch there again by Zethan Feldman. Boy, Liam Fry's going to see him in his dreams tonight, man. Feldman's been all over him. Gain was 2. The 28. Jamestown won't take chances here with a minute 43 left in the third of their 28, 4th and 2, but it's punt formation here for Graydon Thorlickson. Spinning kick straight ahead, takes a Jamestown roll, picked up on the run of the 41 by Clausen and brought down immediately on a good play by Aiden Scary. And Clausen said, "Didn't you see him hit me high?" The officials, however, did not throw a flag. 1:29 left in the third. "31-yard punt and no return." So Grand Forks Central starts at their 41. 1:29 left in the third quarter. Jamestown needs to force something now. Down 18 points at 25-7. Noah Lease, the senior quarterback, has taken all the snaps but one tonight. Brody Lidge, the sophomore, had one play at the end of the half. Handed to Naz Fisher around right end 41. No, he's not going any further than that this time because he was wrapped up well by Ryland Doctor. The Fishers held to no gain. Central Cass here, in fact, a loss of a yard. Central Cass here next Friday. 6:30 again, our airtime here on Jamestown 107.1. And again, you'll be able to view it as you can this game at the Jamestown 107.1 Sports YouTube channel. Johnny B's Brick House, our friends with that fantastic pizza, bringing you the live and archive streaming. 2nd and 11 Central from their 40. Eli Thompson goes into a wing right. 2 receivers left. It is Lidich at quarterback, but he just hands it to Fisher. Why not? And up the middle to his 43 for about 3. Jet Wharton ended the play there for Jamestown. Now down to 30 seconds to play in the third quarter. And if they don't want to, Central does not have to snap the ball again before this game goes to the final quarter. And all their guys are near the sideline. We're through 3 on the Gun and Reel Sports scoreboard. Central's big plays and power running game have led them to a 25-7 lead through 3 in Jamestown's home opener on the Gun and Reel Sports scoreboard on Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Blue Jays.
Two Rivers Activity Center in Jamestown is hiring. Do you like interacting with people? Do you enjoy a fun, upbeat atmosphere and a clean workspace? If so, the perfect opportunity awaits you at Track. They're currently hiring for a variety of part-time positions for lifeguard and guest service and wellness attendants. They'll work with your existing schedule, whether you already have another job or are a college student. Check out trackjamestown.com to learn more about these positions and how to apply today.
If you are watching on the Jamestown 107.1 Sports YouTube channel with the live stream brought to you by Brady Nino, just going out of your picture at the bottom, brought to you by Johnny B's Brick House, you saw Brady Nino on crutches. Again, if you're just with us, he took a sack in the first half and then could not get up for a bit, and when he did, he had to be helped off the field. So Carson Schmidt has taken over at quarterback, but it's the Central Knights who have the ball now after they had a 93-yard scoring drive in the third quarter to improve their lead over Jamestown to 25-7. David Burrow with you from Raleigh-Greeno Field at Charlotte and Gordon Hanson Stadium. 3rd and long here, however, for Central. They're 3rd and 8 from their 43. Brooklyn Bruce is wide to the right, the short side, 3 receivers to the left. And it is the sophomore Brody Lidge, the quarterback. Fakes the handoff on play action. He's back to his 35. Throws long right. Open is Clausen. Caught at the Jamestown 30 right sideline 20. 15-10. Broke away from a tackle. Broke away from another. Touchdown Central. 57 yards. Brody Lidge has 2 completions. As a varsity player, they are both for touchdowns. This one, 57 yards to Trey Clausen. And now the trouble for the Blue Jays has increased tenfold. Ryan Dobrovolny will try the extra point, and it is not looking good for the team in blue and white. Noah Lees holds. The snapper is Eli Fisher. Low snap, but taken in by Lees and kicked straight through by Dobrovolny. And the task is enormous, even more so now for Jamestown. Let's take a break. 11:49 remaining on the Gunner Reel Sports scoreboard. Central scored 32 in a row. They lead Jamestown 32-7 on Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Blue Jays.
Otter Tail Power Company would like to remind you about the importance of high school athletics in the lives of children. Those extracurricular activities play a role in the education and development of those kids involved and provide a way for kids to learn some of life's most important lessons. Lessons that'll take them through life with a sense of accomplishment and pride. Otter Tail Power Company would like to salute those athletes, coaches, and fans who make every season one to remember.
Brody Lettich completed one pass last week. The sophomore, second quarterback that Central's working in. It was for a touchdown. He's completed one pass tonight. It was for a touchdown just now. 57 yards to Trey Clausen, the senior. And Grand Forks Central leads 32-7. 5-play drive this time. Or a 3-play drive this time for the Knights. 59 yards. Ryan Dobrovolny will kick it off. Now the Jays really need a big return. Cale Verke, Seffi Saylor, Aiden Scary waiting back at the 5. End over end. This one's playable at the 7-yard line for Saylor. Right side 10, 20, 30-yard line tackle broken. He's to his 40, out to the 45 before he's reined in by Brody Schneider. Good return. 38 yards. Points would have been perfect, but Saylor with a good kickoff return, and the Jays are out to their 45. But they've got to strike fast now and strike often. Still 11:41 to play. But now it's 32-7 for the Central Knights. Carson Schmidt at quarterback with two receivers to the right and a wing right. Hand off to Liam Fry on first down. Out to midfield for a good first down run and down near the 49. They'll give him 5, I think, to midfield. Zethan Feldman again had the hand on the ankle for Central, and then the Knights' Logan Voorhees finished the play. 5 more for Liam. Second at 5 at midfield. Jamestown still taking their time. As we say, there's a lot of time left, but it's a 25-point deficit. Seffi Saylor in motion from left to right, make it 3 receivers to the right. Carson Schmidt, big pressure, throws down the middle for Fry, caught it at the 45, and down to the 43-yard line of Central. That's enough for a first down. Schmidt didn't panic there, knew that Fry was his last option, and completed it for 7 to the 43-yard line of Central, 1st and 10. Cale Verke and Seffi Saylor to the right. Again, Brandon Kaler not available tonight. Hand off to Fry at the middle 40-yard line of Central, down to the 38. 5 more for Liam, who, and he knew this going in. He is going to get a whole lot of carries this year. It's just a matter of Jamestown keeping the lead, but this may be a situation where you're in game 2 of the year. It's against an EDC team. You just want to work on the offense here. Not to say that the game is lost, but it's not looking good for Jamestown. 3rd and 5 at the Central 38. Snap back to Schmidt, a throw right. Allen with a catch. Tucker to the 31-yard line. 29-28 of Central, and a first down in the arms of Trey Clausen. Tucker Allen just doesn't, there's nothing fancy about what he does. He just runs his route, catches the ball. It's your typical tight end kind of pattern. 14 yards to the 29-yard line of Central, 1st and 10. Although he does line up as a wideout sometimes. Handoff, Will Bennett's into the game across the 25-yard line of Central and down near the 22. Bennett has not had a lot of carries tonight. but a good one there.
Number 21 with the carry.
And he has 7 yards to the 22-yard line of Central. Our Armstrong postgame show follows this game. 9:15 still remains. Central 32, Jamestown 7 on the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard. Jays are 2nd and 3 of the night's 22. Blitz coming. Naz Fisher came across the line of scrimmage, and I don't think he was drawn. No, he wasn't. That's 5-yard penalty and a first down for Jamestown. And the Blue Jays say, oh, thank you for that. We need all the help we can get at this point. So it's at inside the red zone now for Jamestown at the Central 17. K.O. Verke wide to the right. That's the short side of the field. Wide side is to the left. Seffi Saylor in a slot. And Jager Remick is wide. Now Tucker Allen goes to the wide side on the right, that short side. So 4 receivers set. Carson Schmidt backs to the 24, throws left for the end zone for Remick, but it's knocked down in front of him and incomplete by Zaid Martin, the corner. Schmidt tried to loop it up there for Jager, but Zaid Martin knew the play there. It was just to knock that football down. 8:39 remains. 2nd down and 10, Jamestown at the Central 17-yard line. Again, we join you, BJ Walters and I do, from Sioux Falls tomorrow. Jamestown and Augustana in the Jimmies. NSIC and NCAA D2W at 12:30. Handoff. This is at the 19-yard line. This is going to be a little bit of a loss. Will Bennett could not make his way through the hole that time. And pursued well by Eli Fisher and others. Loss of 2 to the Central 19. 4-down territory, obviously, here down 25 points. 3rd and 12, Jamestown at Central's 19. Verke slot right, Saylor wide right. With the hands to Fry up the middle, and he lost the football. I think he fell back on it. At the 17-yard line, he did. But it's 4th down now for Jamestown. Back to the original line of scrimmage. As Carson Schmidt, over near the numbers on the left side, has the play. Jogs his way back to the pistol formation with Liam Fry beside him. 2 receivers wide left and 2 receivers to the right on 4th and 10 at the Central 17. A throw left to the end zone, overthrown for Saylor. Schmidt put something on it, but it was too tall for Seffi, who's, again, just 5'10". And Central will take over with 7:27 to play. And a 32-7 lead, and it's looking very much like the Knights are going to have a 2-0 start. This is a team that, as we told you in our pregame, it was rough, and they've had rough years in the last 20. Of course, a couple of years ago when they beat the Jays here, made the state title game, had 7 wins, but then only 1 last year. But unless something miraculous happens, they're going to be 2-0 to start this year. They're 1st and 10 from their 17. And naturally, they keep it on the ground. Down to the 19-yard line. Now they're bringing in some of those others. That time, it's Carson Kotterba. K-O-T-R-B-A. He's a sophomore, 5'10", 185 pounds. Gained a couple to the Central 20. 2nd down, 8. Now 6:53 to go. On the Gunner Real Sports scoreboard, 32-7 Central. The Knights have looked very good again tonight, as they did last week against St. Mary's. 5 on the play clock, 4. Liddage is looking at it. Hands off to Kotterba again, and this time he's wrapped up by Brighton Ackerman and Bennett Gaynor. They just would not let Kotterba go anywhere there. Good play by both. A loss, in fact, back to the 17-yard line. For a loss of 3, and that'll make it 3rd down and 11. But that's not going to bother Central a whole lot. You knew they were just going to keep running the football one way or the other. They're standing in their huddle. Yes, they are huddling, and they just break it with 7 on the play clock, down to 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And now a Hillary Construction timeout is called here by head coach Jake Schauer. That's a way to run more time off the clock. 6:27 remains. Central 32, Jamestown 7 at Hanson Stadium on Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the Blue Jays.
The Frontier Fort invites you in for a true Dakota Territory dining experience. This unique location looks like an authentic 1800s fort. Head upstairs and you'll be greeted with the mouth-watering aroma of freshly grilled ribeyes and barbecued ribs. They're open from 4 to 9 Monday through Saturday, and their legendary prime rib is served on Fridays and Saturdays. Call 252-7492 for takeout. The Frontier Fort, on the road to the Buffalo in Jamestown.
Time run down to 6:27 left, and Jake Schauer looks like he has a pretty good football team here. He and Grand Forks Central leading 32-7 over Jamestown. They're 3rd and 11 from their 17. And their sophomore Brady Liddage getting more snaps at quarterback. Noah Lease, a good night. Big plays for him. After throws Liddage in pressure, so he just shovels it out, and it's complete 20-25-yard line, 30, 35, 40, and out of bounds. Well, what a nifty little play there. As Saylor was coming, Liddage just shuffled the ball ahead, and that's Cordova who made the catch, and is all the way out to the 42-yard line for 25 yards and a first down. I am pretty sure that wasn't how this play was designed, but sometimes you must improvise. And Central is out to their 42, 1st and 10. Clock stopped as the play went out of bounds. 6:16 remains. Wing to the left and 2 receivers to the right, but you know where this is going. On the ground, 45, 49-yard line. This is John Sherrick with his first carry, the 5'10", 215-pound junior. And John had a good gain there of 7 down to his 49-yard line. Clock keeps running, 5:52 left. And on this cool September evening, it's become a bitter evening for the Jays, who are going to fall, it appears, to 1-1. 2nd and 3 for Central from their 49. Liddage leading like at that play clock. It's down to 5 and 4. And now at the snap, and it is the handoff to Sherrick, and John has a first down into Jamestown territory near the 47. Make it the 45-yard line. He gains 6 more, and it's another first down for Central. 5:15 remains. Our RM Stout postgame show is coming up. Anton Perales, 2 touchdowns rushing in the first half. Also that big 87-yard interception return by Zaid Martin, and Central's just kept it going in the second half as Jamestown is without their injured now starting quarterback. 4 in the play clock, 3. Snap to Liddage, hand up the middle. Sherrick, a couple to the 43-yard line of Jamestown. Hayden knees in on that play, the 5'10", 205-pound senior. They'll give him 3 to the 42. 3 straight carries for Sherrick. 4.5 minutes to play. Not only Jimmy football, Twins are back on Jamestown 107.1 tomorrow. Ooh, it's not going well for them lately, as they're in Kansas City. And it's 5:30 tomorrow and noon on Sunday for Twins baseball right here. 2nd down and 7 for Central at the Jamestown 42. Down to 4 in that play clock again, 3. Handoff Sherrick up the middle, runs into a wall at his 42, and that wall was named Hunter Frymark. Good play by the sophomore. Very good play by Frymark, who was first in, and held Sherrick to a yard gain. Makes it 3rd and 6. Now it's under 4 minutes. We're down to 3:44 remaining. And Tyler Blinsky, who came into the game to make some plays on the line, well, he's having to limp off the field. We've already lost starting quarterback Brady Nenow tonight. He's on crutches. 3rd and 6 Central at the Jamestown 41 with 3:25 left. Nice snap, but Sherrick around right end room at the 40-35. He has a first down to the 33-yard line. John Sherrick with his 5th consecutive run has 8 more. Those sticks move again for Central with 3:09 to play. And the possibility exists here that Jamestown might not have the football back. As the sophomore, 6'1", 165, Brody Liddage, who's had a touchdown pass tonight, his second, leads this drive. 1st and 10 at the Jamestown 33 for Central. Wing Quante Harry now is moving to the left. Hand off to Sherrick again. Spilled at the 31-yard line of Jamestown for a couple as H.C. Mack, who made some plays last week, made one there, the 6', 180-pound sophomore. Stay tuned for our RM Stop postgame show. It's, I'm afraid to say, for Jamestown's point of view, not too far away. 2:17 left. Central's going to win and become 2-0 for the first time in a long time. 2nd and 8 at the Jamestown 31. Liddage again looking at that play clock, which winks down to 4 and 3. Snap taken. Hand off. And this is Cotter up the middle. A lot of room. 10, 5, touchdown Central. Jamestown will get the ball back, but Carson Cotterba has run for a score from 33 yards out with 1:41 remaining. And it's now 38 straight points for the Central Knights as they run the swinging gate out of the extra point formation again. Ryan Dobrovolny lines up to the left. Now he comes right in the middle of the field at the 10 where Noah Lease is holding. Snap, right on the money. Kick, that's right on the money, and it's good. We're down to 1:06 left, and it's all Central tonight, leading Jamestown by a score of 39-7 on the Gun and Reel Sports scoreboard. The latest score from sophomore Carson Cotterba from 33 yards out. 80-yard drive, and Cotterba with the last 33. In fact, he ran for 32 on that drive, and he had that 25-yard reception for a first down, too. And John Sherrick with some runs on that drive. And in fact, this will be the first time that the Central Knights will have started 2-0 since 2004. 21 years since Central has started 2-0, but that's what they're going to be officially in 66 seconds of game time. And the Jays now have to move forward, and possibly for a while, without starting quarterback Brady Nenow. Ryan Dobrovolny will be ready to kick it here. He is. Jamestown with the usual 3 waiting back at the 5. Cale Verkey, Seffi Saylor, and Aiden Scari. And a tough night for the Jays, but this Central team looks to be for real. Taken by Saylor at the 7. Seffi at the left numbers, 20. 25, spins out of one tackle, 30. Keeps his feet, then got blasted near the 40. Brody Schneider, the junior, 6', 160, really laid a lick on him. But Saylor had another good kickoff return all the way out to his 40-yard line. And there's a Central Knight down now at about the 27-yard line of Jamestown. The return is 39 yards. all the way out to the Blue Jay 41. It's Central Cass here next Friday night. We'll again be with you at 6:30, and just like tonight, you can watch that game on the Jamestown 107.1 Sports YouTube channel. You can find the link. Go to the sports tab at newsdakota.com, then under that click on sports schedule. Or just go to YouTube and search for Jamestown 107.1 Sports. Either way, you'll find it. This Central night is still not up. And once again, Mason Ankenbauer from JRMC is to work. Bill Nelson said it in the pregame, there is nothing new when there are physical games between Jamestown and Central, and that has been the case tonight. And unfortunately to the extreme for Jamestown. Jake Schauer, the fourth-year head coach. Now the player is up, and we can identify him. It's Devin Walkenfuss. He is a sophomore, 5'10", 175 pounds. And we're glad to tell you he is walking off the field, but I think he got his bell rung. So Jamestown will have 58 seconds to try to do something good here at the end. And they brought in Caleb Miller, the junior, and Jamison Kleingen's in on offense now. Carson Schmidt, the sophomore quarterback, who had to come in the second quarter when Brady Nenau was hurt. 1st and 10 Jamestown. The Jays are at their 41-yard line. The official gives the signal that they can go, and they'll just hand it off here. 42-yard line, 43, 44-yard line. For Riker Stoddart, the sophomore, 5'9", 155. Riker has his first carry in varsity. But it's for no gain. Jamestown will run one more play, 34 seconds to go. Second and 10 from their 41. This time it's Miles Curtis. And a good run for Miles. 50-yard line. He'll give Jamestown one more first down to the 47-yard line of Central. Miles is a 5'9", 165-pound sophomore. And he brings it to the Central 47. If the Jays hurry, 5 seconds and the clock runs, they can run one more play. And they will. And it's another one to Curtis. Miles only this time a couple to the 45 to end it, and the Central Knights looking most impressive. They spotted Jamestown a 7-0 lead, then scored the last 39, and they're 2-0 for the first time in 21 years. Final score at Hanson Stadium on the Gun & Reel Sports scoreboard, the Central Knights 39, the Jamestown Blue Jays 7. Jamestown now is 1-1. Stay tuned, please, because the Armstout postgame show is next from Hanson Stadium on Jamestown 107.1. This is the voice of the